chillin', everything will feel the same. Feel the same. I just gotta know. How come when I pull up, I'm like, here we go again. Go again. That's why I just gotta know. Why we even different? Why I feel the same every time we kick it? We just can't get with it. Ain't no fixing. Here we go again with another lie that's told in vain. Avoid the pain, even though we need to say goodbye. Feel the same. So codependent, this hurting been open-ended. We just been hoping we ain't have to say it's over-ended. But the wound is open, let it be. You let it be, love it and set it free. But the end of you and me, I thought this new to me. But I just gotta know. How come when we chillin', everything will feel the same? Feel the same. I just gotta know. How come when I pull up, I'm like, here we go again. Go again. That's why I just gotta know. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know. Can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know. Can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself. When did we change? When did all the love that we had go away? Yeah. When did we change? When did all the love that we had go away? I just gotta got me in my feelings. Scared I beat to reach the ceiling, and it's not appealing. Thoughts that I ain't trying to deal with, cause I'm feeling like I ain't enough. And I'm terrified I'll never find another you, never be another us. But why take me ending us? Just get that picture up. I wish it was, but that ain't us. And that was love, but we a different us. I ain't flawless, I'm not to blame for all this. I ain't trying to say that you was, I just know it's time to call it. I just gotta know. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know. Can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know. Can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself. When did we change? When did all the love that we had go away? Yeah. When did we change? When did all the love that we had go away? I just gotta know why we can't admit we finished. We ain't quitting, gave it all to us to give it. We done did it. I don't think that we could say it. We became the victims. Lately I've been feeling like I'm losing myself. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know. Can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know. Can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself.
Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Yo, listen, this is the best wrestler alive, Platinum Max, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hey everybody, Eric Bischoff here, and you are listening to We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Nunzio, former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, and you're watching We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling podcast. Check them out, man.
Stay tuned, listen to the podcast. Wrestling Donnie might teach you a thing or two.
Wrestling. And if you don't listen to it, then it's one-on-one with The Undertaker.
Featuring your hosts, Dan and Donnie. We are wrestling.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself. The best one, Donnie, here with...
What is going on, We Are Wrestling Maniacs world? It has been 1/3 of the, well, actually 1/4 of the We Are Wrestling podcast. Guys, I would like to introduce you to an official fourth of the podcast. You guys seen him here in the chats under Dan Eddy. He has officially joined the We Are Wrestling podcast as our official fourth guy on the behind the wheel, so to speak. And I just want to say welcome, man. Congratulations. And welcome to season 2 and a brand new beginning. Dan, what's up, man?
Thank you for the nice intro there, Rich. I appreciate you guys having me on. I've always had fun, just kind of watching the live events with you guys. So I am glad to join the team, and let's get some wrestling.
Let's get it.
That is right. It is a new season. It's a new start for We Are Wrestling. We're back from the off season. We're going to be doing live episodes every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this week, we have a very stacked episode lined up for all you ladies and gentlemen out there. But before we get into all the good stuff, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're listening to this episode, wherever you get your podcast, give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download the episodes, and give us a follow. But if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, over on the YouTube channel where you get the best pro wrestling content, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, we recommend you hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course you already know the grind is real.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
All right, well, we got some catching up to do because we have been
this close
gone
to doing the
for
new day.
almost a month. So how's it going? How's your Wednesday, ladies?
Ladies.
I'm already.
I just got here. Come on.
My day has been so I'm just kidding. My Wednesday's been pretty fucking good, man. I've been doing all right. How you been?
Pretty good.
I've been doing
man.
all right. Just been doing work and been catching up on some wrestling and just kind of living life. I got sunburned yesterday at the pool. It's sucks, but
Perks of being Wonder Bread.
oh yeah,
Perks of being Wonder Bread.
I get the vitamin D, somehow.
Yeah, man, I've been doing a lot of catching up when it comes to wrestling because during the off season, I really did take the time away from wrestling, except for AEW Double or Nothing. That was the only thing I really watched wrestling related on my break. But man, it feels great to be back. It really does.
Yeah, it was a little weird having so much because you don't realize not having something out of your routine actually does throw you off a little bit because you're so used to it by muscle memory, and it just there's this almost kind of emptiness there. So it's when you finally get back into the routine, it's you're greased up on the wheels and it's riding a bike. You just fucking remember all over again. It's great to be back.
Speaking of bikes and my buddies Jack and Jill, I won myself a bicycle.
That's a nice bike too, man.
Dude,
Yeah,
I was
that's-
so scared.
that's
No,
pretty sweet.
they were all friggin' pressuring me to get on the bike, and my number one thought was, I am not trying to bust my ass in front of friggin' 100 people.
Shit, I am.
But man, I was happy to win the bike though.
Now you gotta get some pegs on the back, like the good old days.
Catch me riding dirty.
Put a basket in the front, maybe. I don't know.
Hell yeah, little fucking rigger, little horde, little doot doot. Hell yeah, dude. Bicycle built for two, motherfucker.
Also,
Smart.
I do want to address something real quick before we do get into this week's episode. So you
Talk
guys
to
are
me, best
probably
one.
wondering where Danny Huckins is, our third of the We Are Wrestling podcast. And Danny's going to be gone for a little bit. He does have a lot of things going on behind the scenes right now that he does need to take care of. And I hear my echo. That's weird.
He's here.
Yeah, are you playing the podcast in the background?
I'm not.
No, I'm talking to Dan.
No, I have it on. It's on mute.
Oh, it's on mute. That's weird.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't
Well,
hear
you
it.
think it happened when we're live?
Yeah, anything.
You
can
might
happen
want
in life.
to lower your volume a little bit, Dan. Probably.
No, we're good. We're good.
Help.
We're
Oh,
good.
we're good.
We're
I
good.
only have you guys.
It was a
All
freak
right.
thing. It was a freak thing. All right, we're good.
We're doing live.
So back to what I was saying with Danny Huckins.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So Danny has a lot of things going on right now in his personal life that he needs to address and take care of. So Danny's going to be absent from the podcast for a little while, which is why one of the many reasons why we wanted to bring Dan Edwards to the pod, because with the summer coming up, we're going to have vacations, we're going to be doing stuff, so we want to keep it a 3-man rotation throughout the entire show. And we do appreciate you, Dan, stepping in.
Absolutely.
No problem. Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for having me. You guys can't find anybody else that's not named Dan.
That's not.
We have so many Dan. Speaking of Dan, we got Dan the Man here in the live chat.
Yeah, I was
That's how
saying
we
Dan,
think,
but yeah, it just popped up in the chat. But yeah, no, I'm happy to fill in for as long as Danny is out and whatever he's going through. I hope he's doing all right. And yeah, I'm just excited to hang out with you guys. It's been fun so far.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's always been fun. Let's just say that.
Hell yeah. Also, a quick little plug, too, because during the off season, I went to Philadelphia. And if you guys haven't checked out my vlog meeting my childhood hero, John Cena, that is up right now over on my Best One Donnie YouTube channel.
Hell
what
yeah.
an adventure. What a time it was.
How was that?
Dude, man, I've never had like butterflies in my stomach like that before meeting somebody.
And you've met a lot of people, so that's saying something.
I've
You've
met
like,
Undertaker,
everybody.
I've met CM Punk, I've met Sting, Edge, I've met so many big names in the business, but nothing has ever hit me like that with John Cena. And like I met him, and like after I got my photo op, like Meadow like sees me like just with the biggest smile on my face. She is bawling her eyes out because I got to meet my childhood hero. She was so happy for me. And then when I got to the autograph table, I'm so mad I wasn't able to document it, but went up to Cena, told him I traveled all the way from Springfield, Mass. And he says, whoo, that's a long drive. And then as he's signing, I tell him about his best friend, John Martin, who is my guidance counselor at East Long Meadow High, where I graduated. And as soon as I told him, I know one of your best friends, John Martin. He stopped signing, big smile on his face, and he said, oh, I love John Martin. I'm actually going to see him next week. And then he pretty much tells me, what's your full name? So I, like, when that happens, when your hero is asking you, what's your full name? I'm sitting there, I'm like, Don.
Today,
And then, like, there's, like, a pause, and then Cena's like, last name? And I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm like, but Barter. And then he says,
what's my name?
And he
My
says,
name is-
he's like Don Barton. All right, I'm gonna let John Martin know I saw you, because he was actually going golfing with him the next week after I met him.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So
Where
that
did
was a
you go to-
really cool experience.
Where did you go to meet John Cena? Where was that at again?
I went to Philly Fan Expo out in Philadelphia,
okay.
which, let me tell you, Philadelphia smells like fucking urine. Straight piss. I am never going to Philadelphia again. And if any of you We Are Wrestling Maniacs live in Philadelphia, you need to get the fuck out.
He just torched a whole city on live TV,
No, straight
bro.
up. Like, you
Hey,
think
I don't know
Boston
what's
smells? You
I don't
think
know
New
what's
York
more
smells?
trash, the
Go to
city or the
Philadelphia,
Philadelphia
bro.
Eagles. So I'll take both as trash. So I'll agree with you there, Donnie. But
No,
I want
like-
to quick question though, Donnie.
don't
I
even know if
wanted
I
to
should share
ask
the
you for
story
the
about the
longest
homeless
time. Since I saw you that you met John Cena, how did it feel meeting him the very year he finally turns heel?
Dude, not even gonna lie to you, I was so nervous meeting him as a heel, because, you know, there's some wrestlers out there that like to keep kayfabe alive.
Yeah.
MJF. So I thought John Cena maybe would, but before going there, I guess like he wasn't in heel character during WrestleMania weekend, so I wasn't too worried about it. And John was a true professional. Like, he was thanking all the parents that brought the kids, and like he really did take that time, even though like it was maybe 5 to like 10 seconds like per person.
Yeah.
And I will say, man, Cena's got a lot of patience, because there's a lot of people and a lot of things needed to get signed. Like, I know there's people I saw that had over 50 items. They were spending probably $20,000 straight up.
For somebody who's been doing who's, how do they phrase it? Who's like confirmed, helped the most Make-A-Wish Foundation requests?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or fulfilled? Yeah.
Yeah, fulfilled them. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fucking wild, dude.
And then take the time to do the meet and greets after turning heel for like the first time ever. So yeah, dude's got a lot of patience. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But speaking of meet and greets, next Saturday at the South End Community Center in Springfield, Mass, we hope that you guys order 50 friggin' meet and greet packages here for the Blue Meanie, ECW legend. Let's get that money up. You guys can pre-order meet and greets with him over on down in the links below. We're going to be having him at our table at the Wrestling Classic 6 from, I believe, 11 to 2. So if you guys are in the Springfield, Mass area, highly recommend coming out and meeting the Blue Meanie. Go buy those figures, friggin' get those 8x10s, rack it up, baby, rack it up. Helps the We Are Wrestling brand.
Hell yeah. What's up, Owen?
What's going on, guys? It feels great to be back.
Hell yeah, man.
It does.
All right, well, now let's get into the show. So, every week we do this thing called the power of the poll, where we give you guys 1 week to go into the community tab over on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel and vote. And before we went on our little hiatus, we were doing this spear tournament. We had 4 different votes, and pretty much the best of the 4 went against each other in this week's power of the poll. So Ben, you want to hit that beat and we can find out who has the best spear? And there it is, Braun Breaker. 52% of you guys picked him, while 22% of you guys picked Goldberg, 22% also picked Edge, and only 4% picked Batista. Do you guys agree with this?
That's got to be some recency bias there. I don't know about the 52%.
Yeah, so what I will say is, and this is going to be very unfortunate, but bear with me. I'm insulted that fucking Edge and Goldberg are even tied at all, because fucking Edge's spears are just godlike and Goldberg's are just like fucking football spears. We've seen them a million fucking times. However, I have to give it to Braun Breaker because he delivered the most beautiful fucking spear I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was so flawless and just like the grace. And you realize that dude launched 10 fucking feet all the way to Carlito, bounced, front flipped, and got right up all in the same foul swoop. Like, that is, I don't know if that'll ever be replicated ever again, even by anybody else. Like, that was just so literally, it had like the force of God behind it. Like, I can't even, like, it was just, I still pop watching it.
And don't worry, guys. We are going to be talking about Carlito and R-Truth. That will be our main event topic for this week's show, just so you guys know. But Dan, what are your thoughts on the power of the poll?
I kind of agree, both with the poll and Rage, because I feel like, me personally, the Edge's spear is a lot more, I don't know, devastating. You know, choose your word, but
it was a finisher.
It was a finisher, yeah. And the fact that Batista only got 4%, but then, I mean, the lineup was stacked, so I can see that. But I can kind of see the recency bias too with the 52% on Braun Breaker because of the spear that Rage was just describing. And going back to that spear too, if you watch the replay, it's crazy how Braun Breaker like basically did a front flip, but then landed safely like on the back of his like upper back, not his neck or head or anything. Thank God.
Yeah.
And I don't think he even ran into the side of the ring either. I'd have to watch that, but I don't think he landed on it awkwardly at all. So it was just the perfect execution of it. So I agree with the list. In a overall standpoint, I think Braun Breaker could have won. But I think that the percentage is a little too high for my taste. A little too salty.
I will say this, surprisingly, 52% is not bad compared to what we usually get with like 70 or 80%. Like, I will say that. But I will say, you know who was robbed? Rhino. Rhino should have won his friggin' his group or whatever it was in.
That pissed me off.
Rhino has the best spear in the business. I don't care what anybody says.
The gore is like fucking, it's literally called the gore for a reason, dude. Like,
wasn't he one of the originators of the spear too?
One of the originators of like the best finishers of it.
It was Rhino and Batista in that same kind of era too.
I would say more Rhino and Edge. Oh, and Goldberg. Goldberg was like known for the fucking spear. That was like his like the end. That was basically his tombstone in WCW.
Yeah.
But I think Rhino was one of the originators because in ECW in the early 90s.
Absolutely. I would 100% say that. Like, I would be safe to say that out of all of them, Donnie, yes, I would have to agree with you that Rhino is one of the originators of like, we're going to use the spear, turn the dial all the way up, and we're going to make it.
Got me so mad when Rhino didn't win his pool. I was so mad about that, especially that one spear he did to Chris Jericho. My God.
Dude, I thought he was dead.
My God.
I thought he was dead.
He got attacked by a fucking rhino.
No,
he got mauled, bro.
He wasn't ready.
He was not ready, dude. I thought he fucking died, bro. Because like that
who was in that? Who was in that pool?
I can't believe that dude's a mayor.
Yeah. Wait, what? Rhino's a fucking mayor?
Yeah.
No, the
In
fuck
his,
he's not. You're lying
in
to me.
his in his city of somewhere in Detroit.
Bro, he's a fucking mayor and he delivers the goal. That's fucking excellent, bro. Wow.
Hey, I mean, Kane was governor for a bit.
I was just gonna say Glenn Jacobs,
Was
the mayor of
he mayor too,
Knoxville.
or was he actually governor? I forget.
Yeah,
No,
of
mayor.
Knoxville County. Yeah, mayor of
Knoxville
Knoxville
County.
He
County.
was the mayor. Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
But I will say Braun Breaker out of those four does have the best spear, so I
Percentage
do
is
have to
bullshit,
agree
though.
with the Maniacs.
Yeah.
But Edge does have a pretty nice spear, too.
It hurts to say that because I do think Edge's spear is just
It's
chef's
beautiful.
kiss. But in that group, I don't know who I would have voted for. I wouldn't have voted for Batista either because that lineup was just too stacked.
I'm gonna be honest real quick. I voted for Braun, but I do want to give a quick, just minor shout out to Edge's spear because his spear, it does stick out if you really look at it. With Edge's spear, it's more than a force push. He's breaking you in half. Like when he fucking hits you, he stops and hugs the mat. Like he makes sure that the spear stops, but your body keeps going at the fucking same speed that the spear was taking place. So you jerk forward and it breaks you in half. So Edge's really should have been a little higher, I feel like. But yeah.
I do agree 1,000%. But guys, if you want to be a part of next week's Put Power of the Poll, it is up right now on the We Are Wrestling community tab over on the YouTube page. And since Flag Day is coming up, I figured let's ask you guys who's the best non-American character. So if you guys want to go vote on that, you can now.
On TV, Muhammad Hassan. On Twitter, fucking Iron Sheik.
And Muhammad Hassan will be at the Wrestling Classic as well. Nice little plug there. And speaking of plugs, I know season 1 finale, Ben, you plugged your website, your new merch site.
I did.
And Ben, you inspired me to finally do it. I'm actually wearing my shirt right now. So guys, if you want to go to the Best One brand store, you guys can right now. It is live and live in color. And we only have one design up right now, which is the bomb. The bomb design, which you can pick from black, red, or white as your options.
Those look sick.
So if you guys want to get your merch, you can go do that right now.
What's going on, Retro?
Which is down in the links in the description box.
Hi, Retro.
Yeah, man.
And speaking of merch too, Ben.
Yes.
I got myself a Rage shirt over on your website.
Oh, did you now?
There it is right there.
Oh, really? So I'm going to do something real quick. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you guys the website real quick where you guys can get that same shirt that he is holding up right now. It is on the Rageaholics warehouse on bonfire.com right there. You can see what he is wearing. And also it is on the back, the Rage Circus shirt right there. Donnie has the plug. Thank you so much for letting me plug that, Don.
You're welcome. And you already, whose idea was this, Ben, for you?
I don't know.
It was me, because I wanted a pocket shirt with his logo, with his shape.
Oh, yes. That one specifically was you. Yes, that one was you.
So that was a day one purchase. As soon as Ben put the link out and he said, it's live, I said, I need to get this before it sells out. So guess what? You better go get it now before it sells out. I don't even know if you can sell out on Bonfire. But...
No, it's on demand. So it's like just continuous.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. All right, well, with that being said, let's get into our highlight of the week this week in the wrestling world. What was your favorite thing that happened this week? We'll start off with you, Ben.
I'm going to go with AJ Styles versus CM Punk. We're going to take El Grande Americano, fucking bullshit ass, qualified for the Money in the Bank ass. But I'm going to take him. I'm going to completely take that angle out because I genuinely don't care about that. What I care about is the fact that we finally got CM Punk versus AJ Styles in a tease match. Because holy fuck, dude, the ROH originals are screaming for this. They waited 20 plus long fucking years, and you could see the respect between CM Punk and AJ Styles going into that fucking lockup when they started, really going at it. Like CM Punk was all smiles, they shook hands, because it wasn't always good between Punk and Styles. Like it wasn't always good.
True.
Like obviously with all the controversy involved and everything, like everybody has their opinions, but when you are the level of professionals that both of them are and can move past it, you can make magic. And sometimes in that, you can really rekindle your friendship beyond professionalism, which can give us a money match. Punk and AJ Styles is 100% a WrestleMania match. And I could honestly accept that if that was AJ's last match.
Ooh, AJ and that.
Ooh,
you're onto
spicy.
something.
WrestleMania for the ROH originals, bro, representing.
Let's go.
That's a main event match right there.
Book it, Paul. What about you, Dan? What's your highlight of the week this week?
I would have to go with at the end of the Raw episode just 2 days ago. Today's Wednesday. Wednesday, my dudes. So at the end of the Raw episode, when there was just a big brawl with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and they were just packing up Punk and Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. So it's gonna be a bloodbath from here on in, and it's just exciting because you can just smell it in the air that they had Sami Zayn coming out to help Jey Uso, and then now CM Punk's gonna come out and help them because of Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins brought out Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Well, we're kind of missing somebody in that group, and you can just smell in the air where Roman Reigns is going to make his return relatively soon, whether it be Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. And he might actually.
I think he's filming right now. He's wrapping up something. I heard he's doing a big role.
Yes, he is.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So when that is over, I feel like that's just going to be a huge pop.
So when it comes to that situation, I'm going to have fun with what you just said. Do you think that WWE could possibly be swerving us and Sammy is eventually going to turn heel and join Seth Rollins?
I have a feeling.
I have a feeling it's going to happen.
I have a feeling too. Because
I do see a heel turn because Karrion Kross is manipulating him too.
Karrion Kross,
everybody that Karrion's manipulated has kind of went to the dark side.
Dude, he was right about everything.
As soon as you said that, Donnie, you raised his eyes, just like, what? Karrion Kross? What? Karrion Kross?
We love Karrion Kross here in the We Are Wrestling podcast.
I know.
There's no Karrion slander in the live chat. No.
We don't accept that.
No, they go in timeout.
I'm excited for that because I can see that too, Rage, because Sammy and Seth Rollins have so much history that they came up from NXT together. They've been friends in real life for over 20 years, along with Becky Lynch and Kevin Owens and all that.
They're from the same cloth.
Same cloth. And the fact that we haven't really had a Sami Zayn heel turn in quite some time.
A little while now. It's been long enough, I think.
When he left the Bloodline, that was the last time that he was turning heel, and then he became a babyface afterwards because he was facing Roman. And then years on later, he was working with Kevin Owens, and then we just kind of never got him in a while. So I can see that. I think it's safe to say that WWE is capitalizing on the fact, and I've said this before, and this is unfortunate that I feel this way, but it kind of feels it anyways. They're capitalizing on the fact that I think Sami Zayn really adds things to groups and really boosts their relevancy. And they're capitalizing on the fact that, unfortunately, Sami on his own is really not doing well in WWE specifically. If he went somewhere else, he would fucking shine. But in WWE, he's kind of hit his ceiling because there is a lot of major players around him, and that is nothing against him. I will say, though, he is a solid babyface to have a heel that you want to push, work with. Yeah. I think that he does a great job in that role. I hope one day he does get rewarded with a world title because he does get the reactions. He has a great character arc, but it's just there's just something. You can only stay underdog for so long. I don't see him having a Rey Mysterio arc at all because there was purpose with Rey. There really isn't with Sammy, and I'm not trying to say that to discredit anything that he's done or is going to do. It's just the stars don't align for him in that way, I don't think. And that's just my personal opinion. I could be dead wrong, and if they do something that's compelling, I'll fucking root for him. But I hope so too. I do hope so. But I think you're saying, Rage. Oh, go ahead. Go, Donnie, sorry.
Nah, you're good, man. So, I will say, overall, I really like Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Seth Rollins. And I hope this is going to lead Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to the tag titles, because I think that could be really good with Rollins holding the heavyweight title and that entire group has gold. I think that could really make things a little bit interesting.
Yeah. I mean, see, the only thing that I do,
but I will say Braun Breaker though will turn on Rollins when he wins the Royal Rumble next year.
Oh, absolutely.
We're getting a Batista Triple H thing.
Let me stew on that. I'm not against it, but let me stew on it.
I know we still got a lot of time until the Rumble.
Yeah,
so
I'm not against it.
Early prediction.
Not against it. Yeah, not against it, but let me stew on that for a little bit.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I do like Bronson Reed with Heyman. I do like that a lot. And they did a good job explaining, because at first, like I was like, why is Bronson Reed with Seth Rollins when he took Rollins out of action? But then they did a great job in the segment, which I did rewatch this week before we got on the live episode. And they did a great job because Bronson Reed was one of the only people to legitimately injure and take out Seth Rollins, which is why he's a part of the group. Brilliant storytelling.
Yeah, if you can do that, there's respect there, and there's foundation. So I mean, I would not rule that out whatsoever. You might honestly be onto something.
Give the tag titles to Bronson and Braun. Let's go. Make
you
it
can't
happen.
beat them, join them. Basically, as simple as that. Or have them join you for that matter. Yeah. What I was gonna add on to what you were saying about Rage with Sami Zayn on his own, him as a babyface, I think is pretty much top tier, maybe even John Cena level, because he gets so much of a pop every single time. Whatever he's doing, whoever he's working with, whether it be Kevin Owens or the Bloodline or whoever. And so the way the WWE creative works is whoever he's working with, he's had history with in the past. Like I said, with Kevin Owens and them as well. So I can see that turning heel, him working with Karrion Kross, because honestly, they need something with Karrion Kross.
They do.
They do.
Because he's getting the biggest pops, and literally it's backstage segments. So if
you're
getting
it's literally just
backstage, you need to get a push immediately.
Has he had a singles match this year yet?
Yeah, he's had a couple.
Oh, okay.
I think he had one before WrestleMania with AJ Styles, I think.
He should have had one at WrestleMania with AJ Styles.
Oh, he should have.
Yeah.
1,000% agree.
I don't think he's had a singles match this year.
Ooh, let's I'm gonna read a couple things here in the live chat here. We got Eric Ellington. Sammy and Karrion should both shop themselves around if they want to be used right. I don't know. I think they're in good positions right now.
I'm gonna slightly disagree.
I just think that they just have to put Karrion in the ring more, give him some more serious storylines, and then with Sammy, they just have to have him turn heel. And I think it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
And it looks like a lot of people's highlights of the weekend here I'm seeing is Mariah May, which we are going to talk about in our TV recap. But let me just share my highlight of the week real quick. Mine has got to be the segment that happened last Wednesday on AEW Dynamite between Hangman, Swerve, and Will Ospreay. I think right now, the one thing AEW has going for them is this storyline. Like bringing back the AEW World Championship, getting it out of that stupid fucking briefcase. And I think that they're doing a great job here, especially with Hangman's arc. Like, you want to talk about character, like, arc and, like, development. I love, like, everything they've done with Hangman Adam Page, like, to the beginning of his AEW run to now. Like, there's just so much depth, like, in his character. And, like, it makes me believe that, like, if Tony Khan really wants to put in the effort and build, like, larger-than-life characters, he can do that. He just needs to what he's doing with Hangman is what he needs to do with the rest of the roster.
Now tell him to also fucking, have him, if he puts, that much effort into his buckshot lariat, a YouTuber wouldn't be doing it better than him.
I will say his buckshot lariats have been looking pretty good lately.
It's garbage. No, dude.
Nah, Logan Paul does have a better buckshot. He does have a better buckshot. But overall, like, I don't know. I just really enjoyed the segment because, like, with Swerve and Hangman, they have been having the biggest feud for the longest time. And Hangman's finally starting to, like, see the light. Like, after the media scrum, like, he was praising, like, AEW and, like, for the first time, talking as a babyface.
So I would... Oh, sorry. Continue.
Oh, and, like, what I was going to say, too, was after the match, like, he lifted up Will Ospreay, and they both, like, hand shook, hugged, and then Will Ospreay was trying to convince Swerve that, like, Hangman's changed. He is the guy that needs to get that championship back to AEW. But obviously with the history with Swerve and Hangman not liking each other, burning houses down, freaking sticking needles in mouths, like, like there's so much story to it that
I'd be lying if I said, I haven't been paying attention to, some of Hangman's stuff, like it's been circulating, there's been a
I
lot
love
of
his
things
character
going on,
work,
and
man.
sometimes I get sucked in. And I will say that it has been rather compelling lately than it has been in the last year or so. I will 100% give it to him. Him and Swerve Strickland is somebody that has really like taken this opportunity to really become a star. Like, that's another whole fucking conversation we can have. But
I love Swerve.
Hangman is somebody that is genuinely improving. So I'll give you that.
Also, I got to give a shout out to Top Dollar too, because like even like himself,
Flop
dollar.
well, he's absolutely been killing it in his role in TNA, and it's cool to kind of see like two guys that were like a part of this group called Hit Row, didn't really do much in WWE, but now like outside of it, like Swerve's a fucking superstar, and like Top Dollar is actually doing pretty damn good. He's not being a flop dollar.
Oh no, Flop Dollar. Yeah, nah, dude. I don't know. Like,
Just
he's
a
a
half
nice
dollar.
guy.
And he's also teaming with Casey Navarra, somebody
Like,
who
he's-
I'm very familiar with.
He was impressive when we went to go see at AEW Live. Like, he was genuinely impressive, Casey Navarro. But I will say,
Or no, that
he's
was
a
all
nice
Northeast
guy.
Wrestling.
Northeast. Okay, yes, that's what it was. Okay. He's a nice guy in real life. I just, when it comes to his wrestling, I don't have a lot of stock in him whatsoever. Just because, like, he has a lot of, and it's not a bad thing to say, but to me, Top Dollar has a very indie feel to his performance. Like, still like almost like is still trying to come up, kind of like indie feel, where it's like he has a lot of these larger than life moves he wants to do, but they don't look okay. I'm not just referring to the flip. Like, he just genuinely, he doesn't
don't think
scream
he'll ever
star to
get
me.
that.
I will say the dude does have a devastating choke slam. That's
And
one
that's
thing
dope.
he does have going for
Yeah.
him.
That's
Yeah.
dope, and he's got the look. But in terms of superstar, qualities, I would say, other than the look and the chokeslam, he's very lacking. But he's a nice guy.
Yeah, no, like I think the in-ring work obviously needs improvement. I do think it's a lot better than what he was doing in WWE. But
He's
I do
also
think
gotten
like
in
his
better shape.
character work is what's getting him over in his TNA run, especially teaming with Casey Navarra, who's a great friggin' professional wrestler that just needs like that opportunity to be seen. Like I do like what he's doing with him. First class. I do like.
Hey, what's going on, Danny?
Hey, Daddy, what is up? But guys, with that being said, now let's get into the We Are Wrestling Podcast weekly TV recap. And starting things off here at AEW Double or Nothing, Mercedes Moné, Ben's favorite wrestler, defeated Jamie Hayter to win the Owen Hart Cup to go against Timeless Tony Storm at AEW All In. And Hangman Adam Page defeated Will Ospreay to win the Owen Hart Cup to go against Jon Moxley at AEW All In. What's your thoughts on the two title matchups for AEW's biggest show?
That I love Mercedes Moné so much. Always. Sorry. Honestly,
Recently.
honestly,
He loves Mercedes so much, he's got her picture hung up in his office.
I'll let you start this one off, Donnie.
All right, I'll start this off since I do watch AEW more than you two. I will say, AEW
fair.
All In, I do like these matchups. I think Mercedes versus Tony Storm, I would have loved to see Jamie Hayter versus Tony. But I'm looking at it from a business perspective. AEW All In, Arlington, Texas, this is their WrestleMania. And honestly, you need to have two of the biggest names going against each other for the World Championship. And Mercedes Moné, she has definitely built up a reputation, holding multiple championships in different promotions. And she's honestly, I think, having a better run right now than she did as Sasha Banks in WWE, which I know some people might agree, disagree. But I do think that she is the second biggest star behind Tony Storm, which is why I do think having them two going at it for the Women's World Championship on the biggest stage makes the most sense.
Tapping in. So, something I'm bringing to season 2 of We Are Wrestling, something you've never seen before, which is unbiased things. So, yes, I would agree with everything that you just said. Whether you love her or hate her, Mercedes Moné is a draw. She's a pull. She has a lot of
Is this
credibility under her
clickbait?
belt.
Is this
No,
real?
this is not clickbait, dude. This is not clickbait. She's got a lot of pull. There is no denying that.
Let him cook, Donnie. Let him cook.
And
Letting him cook, trust
between Tony Storm and Mercedes, we also have to root back and remember Tony Storm's last match was with Sasha Banks before she left.
Yeah, I
So
forgot about
in
that.
a way, you gotta also remember that this is a full circle moment. When they were in WWE, Sasha Banks was a fucking like a face of the company. Tony Storm was on the come up. She just came off of NXT maybe like a month prior before she left. Tony Storm has since then built her own fucking name and became Timeless Tony Storm, the women's world champion of AEW. And now we're finally getting that full circle moment. And even the promo, dude, I watched that promo already between both of them. Fucking cinema. Like, I'm willing to put any bias thing aside to genuinely appreciate what that is. And, in a business perspective for the product and for, ticket sales, this is money. This is 100% money.
And I do want to add something too. For you to say that, especially with a lot of people not being a fan of the segment between Mercedes and Tony, I got to give you credit there.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm in a business perspective, this is probably the best thing that Tony did. Honestly, is putting two of his top. Like, this is how you book, a WrestleMania for AEW. Like, this is how you book an All In. You take these larger than life superstars and you make a storyline that makes sense leading up to it and putting on a massive fucking banger of a match. And I know that both of them are going to go to work and deliver that day. 100%. I think it's gonna. If anything, I don't know anything about AEW like you do, but it's almost main event worthy.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm looking at it from a business side of it. Like, if there's anybody on that roster who draws the most, Tony Storm, Mercedes Moné, why not have them two go against each other? And I do see you here, Eric, saying Mercedes needs to finally lose. I agree.
Yeah.
Because then that will add more depth to her character.
And some
And
humility.
then maybe we can kind of see her start losing the other titles that she has, like the TBS, Rev Pro, like all these different promotions that she's holding. And I think that her and Tony, it's very unpredictable because Mercedes is undefeated in AEW. Tony Storm, she is like at the top
The
right
hottest
now.
thing right now that AEW has is Tony Storm, dude. Like, who knew that this thing that we didn't know was going to succeed outside of WWE would become the biggest thing in the rival company that everybody is talking about and has been talking about consistently for a long fucking time, dude. Like, you got to give her credit, whether you like it's undeniable. Like, she is really one of the hottest things that AEW has by a margin. So I think that this is great for both of them, and that's what makes this match genuinely exciting. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm going to watch the event, but I'm going to watch the fucking match because I'm genuinely excited for it. Like, that is a lot of history, and that is both have something to prove, because if Mercedes loses and goes off to start losing these other titles, there might be a convincing fucking redemption arc that I might be interested in watching. Because if you can lose everything, sit on the top of your little empire, and then drop and lose everything, and then build yourself up honestly again, that's a compelling story I'm willing to watch.
Make the win bigger for Mercedes if that happens, which
And
is
put
why
some
I think
humility
she
behind her.
lose.
Exactly. It'll put some humility behind her. And like I said, man, unbiased, 100% unbiased. This is money.
I respect that. All right. Well, a couple of comments I do want to read before we do hear your thoughts, Dan, on it. We do have here Angelo, one of our We Are Wrestling members over on the YouTube page. We appreciate that. Hater was the one person that was left for Mercedes to beat, and she beat her. Now, what after this match? Who else is left to beat her after she beats Tony? But now, what after this match? What happens? There is no one left for Mercedes or Tony, so I see it as a lose-lose. But that's the thing. Like, you don't know what's going to happen leading up to All In, because maybe they do have plans for the other women that we don't know yet. Because remind you, we still have, I believe, 6 weeks of television before we get there. So I feel like we need to be a little bit more patient and like see what's going to happen, because I think Will Nightingale, she's been picking up a lot of momentum, especially during that Anarchy in the Arena match, which, oh my God, hit the bodies at the floor.
I just want to like relay onto what he said about Tony and Mercedes. Now, you also got to remember, pro wrestling is all about moments and about accolades. And this match is going to be big. Like, it's going to be a big match. Like, it's on the biggest stage for AEW. You know, like, and I haven't been following closely, but from what I've been seeing and from how I've been seeing the people's response, like, it's garnering some attention. You know, and if you can make moments out of this, that just makes it more exciting for what's next. You know, like, there's different matches to be had. There's different, you know, people coming into the company, people leaving the company. So that's what's so exciting about bigger stages, because we get a season reset. There's the surprises don't end. So I would 100% just let it cook.
Absolutely. And another comment I'll throw up here real quick. Eric Ellington, match would be great, but putting together a good story is AEW's struggle. I think we all can agree on that.
Yeah.
So
That's
Dan,
fair.
what's your thoughts on this matchup between Mercedes and Tony Storm?
Absolutely. I think you guys are 100% right on the dot. As somebody who doesn't follow AEW as closely as you guys,
I don't.
You gotta respect you gotta respect both wrestlers' hustles, because honestly, what you guys were talking about earlier, I gotta give it to Mercedes Moné and slash Sasha Banks. I feel like she's more of a bigger star now than she was ever as Sasha Banks in WWE.
I would agree.
As somebody who, you know, sees the promos on, you know, like TV promoting the AEW event and saying, and I've seen highlights of Tony Storm. I feel like every week I'm watching a new movie.
Yeah, dude.
Because she has a different character, but yet she has
So
the
good.
same personality, and you know, she's just kind of doing something a little bit different. So you got to respect the hustle with both wrestlers, and I'm just excited to see the match. I probably won't watch the event like Rach was saying, because I'm not a big AEW fan, unfortunately. No disrespect to the
Hey,
franchise.
everybody's got their preferences.
I have yet to fully dive in like deeply into NXT. So I mean,
Yeah.
I have I kind of have a list to go down towards.
We're on
and
the
then-
same wavelength, brother.
Yeah. So with just as a wrestling fan, I gotta give respect to both of them. And then as far as the guys match with John Moxley and who was he facing?
Hangman Adam Page.
Hangman Page. So I'm not too familiar with Adam Page, but with John Moxley, I can go off of when he was Dean Ambrose. I'm sure he has the same finisher with the DDT in AEW.
Yep.
That is, whoever he does it to, however he does it, that thing looks brutal. I would have to say I would root for John Moxley. I'll probably watch that. I mean, what is this event? I might actually just watch the whole event.
You might as well. We'll be doing a live watch along here. It's going to be on Saturday, July 12th. Unless you're a bigger NXT fan, because WWE is going head to head with them yet again.
Yeah, I think I'm a bigger NXT
Great
fan.
American Bash.
If we're going up NXT versus AEW, I'm Team NXT all the way. But I'm just a wrestling fan in general, outside of Raw and SmackDown.
I respect it.
I'll dabble into AEW. I'll dip my toes in the pool. I won't cannonball yet, but
he won't, because he got sunburnt.
Yeah, I mean, yep.
But I just want to say real quick, if you guys are not a part of the lot, like to the listeners that are listening on Apple and Google right now, like if you're not like in the live chat right now, like you're missing out, because right now I am rooting for Angelo here. He's giving it to Danny Huckins right now when it comes to Mariah May, because Mariah May's title run, her run in AEW was so good, and I can't wait to get into that when we get into that topic. But getting into John Moxley and Hangman real quick, I do like the matchup, just like Mercedes, just like Tony Storm, two of the biggest stars right now at AEW. I would have preferred Will Ospreay versus John Moxley, but with the whole character thing with Hangman, it only makes sense. So I can't be mad at it.
Donnie, real quick, wasn't there a time when I almost called her Sasha, Mercedes was carrying 3 belts at once?
She was carrying like 5 belts at once.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as accolades go, like Rage was talking about, and
big promotions too.
Promotions and, you know, like this story creative, I agree with whoever commented that in the chat. The AEW creative can you know, get a little work done. Just because I've seen bits and pieces of the AEW show itself, but I've only seen maybe 3 or 4 people at a time. And it's only Tony, it's only MJF, it's only Mercedes.
It needs work.
It's only
like their shows do need work.
I
will
think I
say
might
that
be
as a average
missing
viewer.
one other person, but there's a whole entire roster that I need to be excited about. You know, like that's how we got into WWE, because they have these storylines. You connect with them, you follow them along the
Larger-than-life
years, you get that
superstars.
nostalgia feeling after so many times. You know, and yeah, so AEW creative needs a little work, but in all
Josh
honesty,
Toy
it is exciting.
Show, what's up? Congratulations on graduating too, Josh. Saw that on your social media.
Hey,
But
happy graduation, Josh.
But moving on now to our next TV recap, we got some NXT call-ups. Julia has been signed to the SmackDown brand, and Stephanie Valkyr has been signed to Raw. What's your thoughts on the call-ups? Do you think it's too soon, or you think it's just right?
Oh, nah, dude. So just to kick things off, no. So my God, whoever put them on whatever brands was fucking really thinking about it, because Stephanie does 100% belong on Raw, where Julia 100% fits the SmackDown feel. And like, dude, they're going to thrive and change this whole game, dude, because like Stephanie's already getting massive pops, obviously, you know, with her little stints in Raw. Now she's there full time. Like, she's going to be fine. And then obviously now we got a little tease with her and Ripley, either a team or against each other eventually, but they're going to meet down the road. And I am excited to turn the webcam off for that match for educational purposes.
I don't think I'm ready.
I am, yeah, dude, I'm going to be like, Dougie, quack, quack.
Dougie, quack, quack.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do with my hand.
yeah, dude, I'm going to go MIA and use the
So you get
bathroom
some
because I have
popcorn.
to take a shit,
Yeah.
ironically enough, during those moments. But I'm really stoked for her future on Raw. Julia is going to do phenomenal on SmackDown with already who they have there. I'm excited to see, you know, if they're going to start her off in the mid card picture, because sometimes when they get call ups, they go straight to world title, and like they kind of feel like they never really win it right off the bat, and like that's fine. Like we've never had that shock factor yet, which I'm kind of cool with, because that would just be jumping the gun way too soon. But I like that they put them in bigger matches to kind of like see where they're at. It's like, because dude, sometimes you just got to get thrown into the fucking water to learn how to swim. So I like when they do that. So I wonder if they're going to put her in like, you know, high profile matches just to see what she can, how she can hold up with that kind of pressure, or if they're just going to ease her in. Like, I'm excited for those things, like that's what got me excited. I'm excited for, the Stephanies versus the Rheas. I'm excited for Stephanie versus Lyra Valkyria. I'm stoked for her versus Becky Lynch. I'm stoked for like there's so much fantasy booking to be done for both of them that it's unreal. It's so fucking stacked.
Yeah. There's so much opportunity for both Stephanie and Julia. And specifically with Stephanie, I was telling you this earlier, Donnie, when I was watching an interview. I forgot who did it or what network it was on, but it was Stephanie herself talking, and she was explaining how like she was feeling when she got the call from Shawn Michaels about being called into being on WWE, and she was actually offered to be on the main roster right away, but she turned it down in order to go to NXT to not only work on her in-ring performance, but also her English, because she's Chilean. From Chile.
She's from Chile. Yeah.
Chile. Yeah. Yeah.
Chile.
I'm aware. And so when she was learning English for my Spanish audience there, she turned it down. And when she was working at NXT, the fact that it took her this long to be put on the main roster, I think it was like severely overdue. And when she dropped the title last night on NXT, it was mostly kept top secret. So
no, that was last week. I think JC Jane won the title, which a lot of people were surprised by.
Yeah, which I don't see why, because if she was, destined to be in the main roster, you probably wouldn't have to have the NXT title with you.
I will say this. I love that both of these two have been called up. Like you were saying, Dan, I really like that Stephanie Valkyr, she had the opportunity to go to the main roster right away because of her star power, what she built outside of WWE, and she decided, I want to go to NXT to focus on like my language barrier. and to like focus on like seeing how things are being done in WWE. So I really respect that when like a talent can put their ego to the side and say, you know what? Let me go to NXT. Let me see how things are operated under WWE, because we all know WWE is a lot more different than what you're seeing in New Japan, what you're seeing in AEW, TNA. It's a different ball game. It's sports entertainment.
Yep.
They use that before they say professional wrestling. I will say Julia going to SmackDown, I love that. I could see her winning the United States Championship. Her and Zelina, I think that they could definitely do a really good storyline there. Stephanie, my God, she is going to be winning women world championships. Same with Julia, too.
And Julia's storyline just now, I hate and love that at the same time, because I do also like Zelina Vega. But the way that I see it with Julia winning the United States title, it can be Zelina Vega just seem like a placeholder, which is, to me personally, it seems very disrespectful because she's been there for so long. But
she still is getting rewarded, though, as like the champion.
She is.
Like, not everybody can have these long title runs.
She's having a title run. I can agree with that. But the fact that when Julia goes to SmackDown, she can vibe and feud with Zelina Vega or I can't think of them right now, but like what Rach was saying earlier, there's so much opportunity for both of them just on their own entire show, let alone anywhere in the WWE. So
big facts.
And I also really like that they're both separated, because they both have that aura to them that, like, I feel like if you put them on the same brand, like, it's not a good thing.
It's a clash.
It's a clash, exactly. So I think
like
Julia
Phoenix
going to
and Penta.
SmackDown fits perfect. She even has her hair dyed for the brand. And then Stephanie, great for Raw. We get her and Mommy. Ooh.
Oh, dude.
Oh, man. Good thing I'm not doing reactions.
The webcam is going to be off for those moments. No, Liv did not get fired yet, Brad. But I'm going to say 100%, dude. When it comes to, like, you know, the separation with Julia and Stephanie back here, it's literally like Rey Fenix and Penta, and they're both fucking carrying it on both their ends. Like, literally separating them was the greatest thing, because even, dude, like I said, I thought Rey Fenix was gonna fucking struggle. Nah, dude, the dude is a fucking aura in his own right, man. Like, his in-ring is insane.
I still think Penta is still a little bit.
Oh yeah, star power, Penta has it, but when it comes to in-ring, you were absolutely correct.
Oh yeah, Phoenix
carries
is better
that shit.
Absolutely.
Dude, the fucking adios amigo. Oh my god, that is my favorite thing on the planet. Fucking running on the rope, kick in the fucking face. Like, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
But yeah, I'm very happy that these two have gotten called up, because NXT's women's division is so stacked right now that, like, they don't need to be on NXT. Like, we need to bring some of that star power from the silver brand to the blue and the red brand, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Ooh, speaking of adding some star power to the silver brand, I think that's the colors now for NXT. On Friday, May 30th, Mariah May was removed from the AEW's website and debuted on WWE NXT last night, having her eyes set on the NXT women's title. She will also be getting a name change. What's your thoughts on the debut?
So, the whole place erupted, and that's how you make an arrival.
And that's how you know AEW knows how to make stars.
That also shows how well fucking Shawn Michaels booking and his like decisions are for like debuts, because dude, like, I love that in his style of debuts isn't attacks like Triple H's is. His is like, give them the microphone, let them make their presence known, establish who they are, and let's go forward. You know, like, and I love that about Shawn. And I think that, you know, when it comes to, I think I need a minute. I think when it comes to,
I'm laughing at this one. JC, count your days. Mariah March is taking that title.
I told you, Mariah March. That I said that in the group chat today. I was like, dude, Mariah March is the fucking name change. Like, it's really not bad.
All I can think of is like Mariah March, and she's gonna march her way to the championship.
Bro, no, she's not fucking. She's not Maxine Dupree, where she just does that little walk she do.
You said it wrong, Reg.
Oh,
wait, Mariah. Is that why they're Is that why they're changing her name to Mariah March? Because it's a month. Because
I guess so.
A month,
I guess that's what they went with.
March.
Yeah, but it's really not bad. Like, it's really not bad.
Oh, it's bad.
My fucking god. No, it's really not. See, the thing is, though, we thought that about Gunther too, and we clowned that shit.
I
look
love
how that grew on us.
Gunther's name change.
And look
I
at
still hate Ricky Saints. I still hate that.
That's really not bad. Like,
What
it's
about Jeff
really not
Cobbs?
bad.
What's his new name going by now?
JC
He's like
Mateo. Well, JC
JC
Mateo. Jeff
Mateo.
Cobb.
JC
Jeff
JC
Mateo.
Cobb
fucking
is still there.
Potato. JC Potato.
JC Mateo. Mateo, bro. It's really not that hard. It's JC Mateo. It's really not that hard. It's not terrible. Like it's worse than bad.
Sometimes hard to
Really
work.
not. It's really not that big a deal.
Well, nothing
Like, it's
gets
really
bad.
not.
Nothing is worse than what the retribution names that they gave those guys.
Exactly. Like compared to
Nothing
what we
beats
fucking
that.
had, dude.
Nothing
Like
beats
no,
that.
this is not terrible at all. Like again, we clown Gunther shit for
Wait,
fucking ever.
while we give our thoughts on this, like I do
who
want
the
the
fuck
live
remember
chat
Walter?
to interact with us. Let us know in the live chat right now, which if you guys are not a part of the live episodes, every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, let us know what's the worst wrestling name. Like down in the live chat. We're gonna let you guys spam it. We'll talk about it after the topic.
I
But
don't
Dan,
know. Oh,
what's your
that's a
thoughts
good
on
question.
Mariah May?
I'm not too familiar with her work, but I do disagree with the name. I just feel like they could have been maybe a little more thought process behind it because it's confusing. She was born in August, so I don't know. So with from Mariah May to Mariah March, it's kind of like if Def Rebel was making wrestling names now, just like putting mid-effort into it. And then like JC Mateo going from Jeff Cobb to JC Mateo, that is a great name because I would have never known it was Jeff Cobb's unless, maybe I was following your guys' podcast, for example. Or
Okay, I can give you that from a
looking into
casual point of view. I can give you
an
that.
actual wrestler's profile, be like, oh, who's this guy's name? And then maybe in the Wikipedia or the website, be like, formerly named blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, oh, gotcha. Okay. So I can understand the name change necessity because she's going from, I think you said TNA? AEW to NXT. So I can understand the name change being necessary, but I don't know.
All right, so I'm going to go off and tap in real quick because I'm not going to go off, but Danny said, why change her name? Dude, first of all, it's a business. We know the obvious fucking rivalry between the companies. We can't change it no matter how marky we are. They want to separate from AEW entirely. They want to build a brand new empire based on this superstar's credibility in WWE alone because it is literally the grandest stage to be at in a pro wrestling industry. As much as that could piss you off, the truth usually does.
Perfect example.
They're building a new fucking credibility, a new background. That's it, man.
The perfect example of that would be Edge and Adam Copeland. You can't have Edge being a wrestler that was in WWE and then have AEW logos behind them at the same time.
Yeah, but also I think that was a trademark thing. Like WWE had the rights to it, so he couldn't use it even if he wanted to. But like, I do totally understand where both of you guys are coming from the business, like logical standpoint. And that's the thing. I feel like WWE, they don't want people to think that like, okay, we're taking all these AEW people. So I think that like this is just a business tactic move. They don't want her to be known as Mariah May because let's say like the fans are really enjoying her work. They're going to look up Mariah May on YouTube and then they're going to see all of her amazing work that she did with Tony Storm in AEW. And I think WWE doesn't want that. So bringing in like a new name, it's a new start. And with WWE, that's kind of what they're looking at it like. They want to build her into a star because AEW did a great job with Mariah May. And if WWE puts her as Mariah May, that's going to add more pressure to them. Because I will say out of all the friggin' people that have been called up, like that have left AEW to WWE, Mariah May to me doesn't make any sense because they booked her so good. Her storyline with Tony Storm was a cinema. It was a 5-star movie. And I will say, what a way to go out. But I don't know. I just think that Mariah May getting a name change, I don't like it. But at the same time, I understand where WWE is coming from.
It's a business, and at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Too.
That's why Karrion Kross isn't Killer Kross, but at the same fucking time, Karrion Kross is still a badass name. So,
and that's why Bubba Ray can't go. He can't be called Bully Ray in WWE.
Yeah.
But all right, let's read some of these names because I'm getting a kick out of this. Appreciate all you guys in the live chat. You guys are absolutely killing it. We got Slapjack, Bashing Booger. I remember Bashing.
That's a pretty
Booger.
bad name.
Red Rooster, That's Terry Taylor's character in WWF. T-Bar, the Shockmaster. And I think that's... Oh, we got the Blue Meanie. We're actually bringing him to the Wrestling Classic. That's a good plug right there. You want to meet the Blue Meanie? Hey, if you want to get a mail in, Omar, down in the links below.
Excuse me. Heard you hate my name. Suck it.
But yeah, no, there's definitely been some pretty bad names, but Mariah March isn't the worst one. Like, there's been worse ones. I'll
It's
still
just
call her
predictable.
Mariah May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's inevitable for them to change their names over the years. Like,
Repo Man.
Like Dewdrop went to Piper Niven.
Oh, Dewdrop was horrible.
Oh,
That was
horrible.
I mean,
Remember
Kane even.
Butch?
So full transparency, I was actually looking up some weird names because I couldn't think of it at the same time. Because I knew Kane wasn't his original name. I just
Isaac
couldn't think of
Yankem.
it. Isaac Yankem DDS.
Isaac Yankem, because he
And then before he was Bray Wyatt, rest in peace with him, he was Husky Harris.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's some weird names out there. So.
There's definitely some. Like, before Ryback, there was Skip Shetfield. All right. So, with that being said, guys, let's move on to the Money in the Bank predictions, which We Are Wrestling will be doing a live watch along here on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel this Saturday for Money in the Bank. And if you guys, look at that.
Look at the shape I used to be in, man.
One of Ben's first photo shoots he did for We Are Wrestling, guys.
Look at that shit.
It's in like the weirdest position with me though. It's like I can fucking hold on a minute.
All right, put my shit away. Put my shit away. Get that shit out the screen.
All right, so a couple things before we get into our predictions. During the last predictions that we did have for WWE Backlash, Ben and Danny ended up tying, which is why we haven't crowned a We Are Wrestling champion. So we have decided that for this one here, for Money in the Bank, Ben and I are going to go against each other for the championship to crown the first We Are Wrestling champion.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's hype it up a little bit here. So guys, let's take a closer look at the We Are Wrestling World Championship.
That is sick.
What a beautiful championship. And one of us, Ben, will be holding the title. We don't know what we're going to do when it comes to draws and stuff, but hopefully that's not the case here. Dan, you're still going to give your predictions, though. But, yeah, we definitely got a pretty good show lined up. So the way we like to do it with our predictions, we like to talk about the build-up leading up to the show, and then we like to dive into each match, and then we share our prediction. So the way we're going to do this, we're going to give our thoughts on the match, and then we're going to pick a winner, move on. We have 4 matches, but we wanted to make things a little bit odd. So there is a big match that is happening on Monday Night Raw after Money in the Bank. It will be for the World Heavyweight Championship, Jay versus Gunter. And that will also be a part of these predictions here as well. But here we go. Are you guys ready for the predictions?
Yep.
All right, so starting things off, we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Stephanie Valkyr versus Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez versus Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and versus Julia.
So honestly, this is actually kind of hard to predict because like there's a lot of new faces in this rather than, the old school, Can you pull that up one more time? Can I see the graphic just so I can get an idea again? So just looking at it, I'm kind of torn. Like for me, all right. So full transparency, during this little hiatus that we took during the off season, I like shut out everything wrestling related. So I'm not super caught up with everything, but based on this card, for me, the only person story-wise that really could elevate from the Money in the Bank at this point to really not only like gain, I don't want to say relevancy because that's not really, what it's all about, but I think it's going to be Alexa Bliss. Like I think Alexa Bliss is my like dark horse pick to win it because we already teased Stephanie and Rhea.
Okay.
And I feel like we're going to build that credibility for Stephanie first, and we're going to put her over a little bit before we really grant her a massive opportunity like winning, Money in the Bank or a mid-card title. I think we're going to be building up some credibility there. And I think we're probably more than likely going to move into a program there after Money in the Bank. And I think that, again, to, gain some momentum again, I think that Alexa Bliss would make a lot of sense. Naomi, yeah, I can understand why, it'd be Danny's dark horse pick. It would be a complete shot in the dark and people would be like, what the fuck? Because it's like, how do you insert Naomi into a bigger picture like that? Some people are saying Roxanne, like, yeah, she's had some great momentum, but she kind of just got here too, like, so there's a lot of, this is super unpredictable. So, but if I have to put a stamp on it, Alexa.
And then if you had to pick a second choice, just in case like you and I, we don't end up getting the right winner.
Okay, so throw that up
Dark
one more time.
horse. All right, so here it is. We got Stephanie Valkyr, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Julia.
All right, so for second one, if they're gonna play it safe, I would say Rhea.
Okay.
If they're playing it safe, it's repetitive, yes, but she's never won a Money in the Bank, has she?
Rhea Ripley has not won a Money in the
so
Bank.
like that's
Really,
an
that's
accolade, if anything. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see them doing that considering she's been basically world champion for like the last 2 years. So
Yeah.
I don't think that they're gonna pull that trigger.
That's not a bad safe pick, but might as well, like, I'll share mine and then like we'll get yours, Dan, since Ben and I are going for the beautiful We Are Wrestling Championship. So out of these 6 women, like, I definitely I love the lineup. I love all 6 women that are in this match. I can't be mad at whoever wins this because I think that there's definitely some story there. There's some depth. So I do want to look at the graphic here. We have Stephanie, who just got called up. Julia just got called up. Alexa Bliss, like, I do like that as like a dark horse. I think my first pick is going to be Naomi because I could definitely see her cashing in and winning the championship, and then that can start a feud between her and Bianca, her and Jade Cargill. I think like it really does open up a lot of opportunities there because then even Tiffany Stratton and Naomi, because Tiffany's kind of more of a babyface now. So I feel like it does make more logical sense for Naomi to get this big win, and it's something she hasn't accomplished yet in her run.
Yeah.
Now, if I had to pick a dark horse, second winner, I'm going to have to go with Roxanne Perez because I think that she can cash in, win the title, and then eventually we get a babyface Liv Morgan, and her and Roxanne can be feuding for the title.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
They have been kind of doing like
I might be fucked.
see there in the clubhouse.
I might be fucked. Okay.
You guys literally took my top 3 people because I was thinking Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, and Naomi because of all the same reasons too. Because Stephanie Valkyr just showed up, Julia just showed up, Roxanne I can see winning because of what you were mentioning, Donnie, and she's kind of getting in her way of the Judgment Day. Dirty Dom, freaking bastard, can have his third love interest. Plug in the Breaking Bad meme, but Alexa Bliss is my other one for other reasons that will be explained later. And then like Rhea Ripley, I just feel like it's just too obvious of an answer. I don't think she's ever been in the Money in the Bank match because she's never really needed it. Like she
doesn't really need it.
She was skyrocketing into stardom right away. And with Julia just showing up and not really having a set feud, I can see her kind of building momentum and kind of increasing a feud with one of the other competitors in the Money in the Bank match, or
maybe Alexa Bliss and her. No. They're both on SmackDown.
Yeah, I can see that.
But then again, Julia is also focusing on the U.S. titles, so maybe that's also another reason why we're not considering her to win this.
Yeah, so I can see either one of those three winning. I think Naomi would probably be my first choice, and it hurts because I never really root for Naomi, and her character arc has gotten me thinking differently. She's always been, second-minded. She's always been put in the background. She's had the I think it was the SmackDown Women's title a while ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was, I think, during the time where like they did the brand split after like doing like the super shows for a while. That was like in the mid I think that was like 2016, 2017 when she won it.
The fact that we can't even think of her last long title run. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, 2017.
Yep,
yeah,
2017.
That was a weird time. But anyways, Naomi, I can see winning it because she's gotten so much hype. She's gotten a pop every time she's coming out. That it's kind of the same thing each week, feuding with Jade and kind of rekindling her friendship with Bianca Belair. But at the same time, like, it's working. So Naomi would probably be my first choice, Alexa Bliss second, and I sadly have to put Roxanne at 3. I love Roxanne, but I don't know. I can just see WWE creative going in other directions.
All right, so Ben, your first answer was Alexa Bliss. Mine was Naomi, and then you also went with Naomi, right, Dan?
Yeah.
All right, well, moving on to our next match we have here on the card. It is for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra Valkyria will be defending her title against Becky Lynch. Why are you rolling your eyes, Ben? Let them know what's on your mind, pal.
I love seeing Becky back. Do not get me wrong. I love seeing Becky back, but at the same time, I feel like they pulled the trigger too quick for this feud. I feel like we could have gotten some more depth, with like their friendship and like their, whole thing. I just feel like this kind of feels a little rushed. However,
Becky Hogan,
I'm hoping that this is just an opportunity to elevate Lyra, just because she has been fucking killing it since she got called up, man. Like, they have been 100% properly utilizing her and really pushing her, and the crowd's behind her. She's fucking over. I'm just hoping that this is a situation now where Becky's back elevating, the future stars, and I'm hoping that this is the first big dog that Lyra is taking down, down her reign, because it would be a shame to cut something super short that is genuinely doing not only the individual good, but fans are behind her, and for somebody who is the first time women's mid-card champion, in recent WWE history, she's really there's a reason that she's still the champion and Chelsea dropped it. There's still a reason why she's still on this title run. There's something about her that is sticking well business-wise, and I think it would be a shame to cut it short.
All right. Well, I'll give my thoughts on this here. I don't like that, we're not getting either, Tiffany's not defending her title or Io's not defending the title. I feel like they're really focusing too much on the Becky and Lyra story, which, don't get me wrong, I love that they're doing that. It's because it's a mid-card championship. But at the same time, I wish they would do more with Io's championship. Give me a storyline there. Why is Tiffany... why is there no major world championship on this card being defended?
Because it's about Money in the Bank. That's the main event.
But it also could make things interesting too.
But the thing is, though, I'm cool with them not being on the card because they're focusing on the gimmick of the entire pay-per-view rather than big title matches.
But here's my question. When was the last time Tiffany Stratton has defended her championship on a PLE?
Donnie, I might just want to add that the Night of Champions is at the end of this month too. So they could be postponing the major championship run. And
you're on it.
I hate 4 matches. I hate 4
Yeah.
matches on a PLE. I hate that
But
shit. And I hate 15 matches on an AEW.
But this is
TNA
a
doing it
good
right.
thing. This is a good thing. This is meant to focus on these matches. So that means we're going to be promised something more high quality. We're going to be going for quality rather than quantity. And you got to admit, this is about the money in the bank shit and also furthering storylines, not necessarily title changes. Some are going to be on it.
But a lot of the time, but I do have a good point to make here. A lot of the times at Money in the Bank, we've had cash-ins happen during title matches. And some of them have been very shocking in the history.
Do you want to know why that they're not doing it? Because they're probably leaving it for WrestleMania. They're probably going to plan for a Mania moment, and I think that that's interwoven storyline wise, and I think that's why they're not doing it. We could finally be seeing another heist of the century, Donnie. So you got to remember that it's been a long time since we've had a massive, other than Damian Priest, which was still kind of underwhelming because everybody was pissed about it. We haven't had like a massive shocking moment since Seth Rollins. So it's like we need that. And I think WWE knows that. So I'm not mad at it, but I understand why you are. And I'm not discrediting that 100%. I hear you.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just wish there's more, but I get why they do it. I don't know. Like, I just know I know if I was paying for a ticket to go to a WWE PLE,
especially now,
I would want more matches. Like you don't even get a pre-show match. Like these are the only matches that you're getting, and the ticket prices for TKO.
That's what I'm saying. TKO, I understand. I understand, homie. Like I said, I get it.
TKO,
at least with AEW, you get like 12 or 13 matches, but at least you're getting
get your money's
matches.
And you get your money's worth. And I get it, man. I get it 100%, but I also get it. So
it's like when you go to the mall and they give you a sample of like a food, and you grab the sample, and that's all you could get. It's like, come on, WWE, what the fuck? I'm a fat fuck. I need more than just a fucking sample.
He needs some milk.
Dude,
I need the meal. I need the chicken tendies.
Hell yeah, dude. All the chicken tendies, bro.
But I will say I love what Lyra Valkyria is doing though with this whole storyline. If there's anything that's I'm liking, is that she's really stepped up her game, especially on the microphone. She's been giving it to Becky Hogan.
Oh yeah.
They found a diamond, bro. She's gonna fucking do big things, man. She's gonna be a hell of a world champion one day.
Yeah, she is.
She's
future Royal Rumble winner.
Oh, motherfucker! I was gonna say the same thing, dude. You're absolutely spot on.
It.
Yeah, dude.
All right, Dan. What's your thoughts on it?
Man, you guys are just on point right now because I did want to point out Angela was also right because they have Night of Champions at the end of the month this month, and then Evolution is in July, so they do have quite a bit of opportunities for like the EO Sky title match. Tiffany Stratton, I was blanking for a second. Title match.
Give me tag team title matches. I'm sick of just waiting for these.
So I think I was too pissed when I found out the main card was only 4 matches, but I do think Rage was right because they do give spotlight to with no disrespect, but just can't think of a better term, the mid card titles. Because you're thinking of the world championship, the women's world championship, the heavyweight championship, but nobody expects a United States championship main card main event. So I feel like with that in mind, I do think they did a great job with that. With the Intercontinental Championship, I do think it can go in one of 2 ways. Lyra, who has been killing it, not only in the mic, but in the ring too. I've become a fan of Lyra ever since I saw her.
Same, dude.
Almost debut on, was it Raw? Or was it SmackDown?
I think it was SmackDown for the draft.
I think it was Raw. I think it was Raw.
And then
it was.
I don't know if you guys
she got
follow
drafted
it.
On SmackDown. The episode of SmackDown draft, she got drafted to Raw.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. So when she, I don't know if you guys watch them or if anybody in the chat watches them, but I watched the Celtic Warrior workout videos with Sheamus, and then he brings in wrestlers, and he does the workouts that the wrestlers normally do themselves. Like kind of promote like what they kind of do for a workout backstage and stuff. So when Lyra was on there, she did a lot of plyo workouts, and that right away told me that she has the endurance to keep up in the ring and stuff. And the fact that she's been killing it with Becky Lynch and was already a 2-belt champion simultaneously already. And she's only, I want to say 28 years old. She's not 30 years old yet.
She is very young. Yep, she is under 30.
Yeah. Same with Mariah May too from earlier. I think she's only like 26 years old.
Yeah.
But anyway, so with the women's Intercontinental Championship, if I were to put money on it, I would say Lyra, but I can see Becky Lynch winning it, and then something may happen. I'm not going to tease that too much, but I feel like Bailey is going to show up somehow in some capacity. Bailey,
I forgot about. She could be coming back.
Yeah, so Bailey can show up and then help out Lyra win and make Becky lose. And that can just
Bailey and Becky going to
bring out the old and golden age rivalry between the two. I don't know.
I like that.
But at the same time, isn't their third time defending the title, I believe. So
you're saying
Lyra
maybe a
win it for
little cash
third time in a row. So I don't know. I would have to say Lyra if I were to put it in a prediction. But Rage, I want to ask you real quick if when you saw the main card and you were getting back into figuring out what's been going on in the wrestling world and you saw Becky Lynch's name, do you have the same reaction seeing Becky Lynch that people are seeing now with when Charlotte Flair is involved?
Yep. My reaction literally was.
Yep.
Because I think I was talking to you, Donnie, about that when we were doing the PLE watch along, is Becky is becoming into that level with how people are just seeing Charlotte Flair, and it's kind of the same gimmick. Yeah, she hits her peak, and then when she is involved with somebody younger like Lyra Valkyria, for this example, it's just
all the fatigue.
I don't know. You just kind of have to be like, okay, I'll dab my feet into it, but I'm not going to pay attention as much as I have been over the years. So that's why I just wanted to point that out too, because I feel the same way with Becky Lynch. So I can see going in two ways. Either way, Bailey would probably be involved, but I would say Lyra if I were to pick a winner.
Like, I'm a fan of Becky Lynch. Like, she's fantastic.
Oh, I am too. Yeah.
Like, I just don't like that, like, they just do the same thing over and over and over and over again with her.
Yeah.
Like, there's just nothing new. And that's like why like I can't get behind her as much as I want to. But Ben, who do you got?
I got Lyra with or without the involvement of Bailey, but I think Bailey will get involved and will cost Becky the match, and in turn Becky cannot challenge Lyra for the IC title for as long as she's the champion. I think that's it. I think I'm going with Lyra.
I think I am going to have to go with Valkyria here as well, because I do see Bailey coming back. Like, she's not out of action. She's on a break.
She's
going
great.
to come back. And I think that her and Becky Lynch, they're going to have a feud that's not going to involve a championship. And I could see them two going at it at SummerSlam, either night 1 or night 2, as like one of those big matches.
I see that too.
And then I could see Valkyria possibly maybe working with Stephanie Valkyr, and they can do something there. That's also a possibility.
Ooh, okay.
But anything can happen. But I do think that Valkyria cannot lose to Becky. Can't happen. Especially in these promo battles. Like, you would think Becky Lynch, who has buried thousands of women on that microphone, you would think that she would have the upper hand here against Lyra Valkyria, who's not really the best on the mic. But I feel like Lyra has definitely been giving it to her a lot
she's
more.
At least above average. You have to give her that. She's at least above average on the mic. She's already levels above like Ronda Rousey, for example.
Bro, she's way above Ricochet. So I mean, that's not really saying much.
I think anybody is.
Still. Yeah.
But moving on now to our next match here on the
card. You
didn't
even ask me you didn't even. Oh yeah, you did. Never mind.
Yeah, we already did. We all got Valkyria.
We just don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. Moving on to the next match we have here. We have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have LA Knight versus Penta versus Andrade versus Solo Sikoa versus Seth Rollins versus El Americano.
That's fucking bullshit that he's even existing, honestly. Like,
Should be
anyways,
Chad Gable.
this one kind of pisses me off. Like, genuinely pisses me off because we know that Seth's winning. Like, we know. And that's
Yeah.
unfortunate because I'm like, dude, there's so many more deserving talent in that fucking match alone. You know, I don't think that Seth deserves it. I think that we're just in a repetitive cycle if we keep pushing the same people when they're credible of just, you know, carrying the storylines themselves. You know, I don't think he needs it. I think it's stupid if he does win it and it's just a waste of time. But if I were to say that I have a dark horse, it's obviously LA Knight. This is the position that we've been talking about him being in for the last 2 years. And he's finally in that position. Will they pull the trigger? I don't know. But if anybody needs this briefcase and could benefit off of it and could have that title loss mean something and their future, especially for their age, it's fucking LA Knight. It's LA Knight all over it. And like Angelo just said, it writes itself. Seth isn't going to win. I think it's going to be LA Knight. And Danny, I hope you're fucking right because that is my dark horse. And if I have to go with anything, I want to go with my gut. And I want to go with LA Knight. But my dark horse is Seth because of the irony of what is WWE's predictable creative 9 times out of 10.
All right, so, I'll share my thoughts here since we are going for the title. I do like everybody in this match, except I wish Chad Gable wasn't doing this stupid lucha character in this match. Like, he really could have benefited by himself as Chad Gable, beating CM Punk and AJ Styles. Like, that could have done so much. And it's crazy because, like, all these WWE fans are telling WWE, let's push Chad Gable. And then they give him this character, and they're actually pushing this character. And us fans are like, let's push Chad Gable.
It's
like,
annoying,
they really don't understand. But
I understand
I will
the respect, but still.
I'm surprised that Solo Sikoa is actually in a big match. It's been a very long time since he's been on a PLE, it feels like. I will say, I feel like realistically, I think it is going to be Seth Rollins that does win. And I'm going to get into why in just a moment, a couple matches from now. I just think that Seth Rollins, they're going to try to give him the championship so that him versus Roman Reigns happens at SummerSlam for the World Championship because it's a big marquee match.
Yeah.
So I think that giving Rollins the briefcase, he's going to weasel his way and cash in. Stupid. And I think that Punk or whoever tries to stop him, that's where Braun Breaker, that's where Bronson Reed gets involved. That's why Rollins has aligned himself with 2 of the strongest guys on the Raw brand.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a second choice, since you went with Seth Rollins as your dark horse, so my second choice out of these 6, I'm going to have to probably go with, I'm going to go Solo Sikoa. I don't know.
Stupid.
I'm just going to go Solo Sikoa. Fuck it.
Yeah,
I'm convinced Rollins is going to win. But what about you, Dan? What's your thoughts?
Oh, Big Coffee, hands down. I'm going Grande Americano.
Oh, no. No. Oh.
No.
If that happens, Dan, we're freaking sending you that championship to Milwaukee.
Yeah, all right. No, I go in. I'm in Arkansas, bro.
Oh, you're in Arkansas. Oh, yeah, you're not in Milwaukee. What the hell?
Yeah, but not to dock myself. But anyways, I will. See, I'm kind of on the same boat as you guys. I do want Penta to be in the mix just because I'm a huge fan. But I feel like as far as creative goes, Solo Sikoa can win the Money in the Bank and kind of be a catalyst with that feud with Jacob Fatu and help him become more of a babyface since Fatu is pretty much done with Solo these days. And with Seth Rollins pretty much with so much hype behind him now, and when he had the go home show moment at the end of the Raw episode 2 days ago, I can see that being like, hey, Seth Rollins is going to win, like pretty much, like give him the briefcase now.
I will say
Andrade,
this. I think you've got like Solo Sikoa. At first, I was kind of questioning myself on making him my dark horse, but now you actually got me thinking a little bit. What if Solo Sikoa cashes in that Money in the Bank on Jacob Fatu for the U.S. title
at Night of Champions? Maybe, yeah.
It'd be a waste because I feel like any Money in the Bank winner should go after the world title.
Yeah.
But they could really further that storyline there. Imagine Solo takes the title from Fatu.
Exactly.
That would be kind of nuts.
I will have to go with Seth Rollins as well. My second choice / dark horse would be either LA Knight or Penta, just for bias reasons.
Going with LA Knight.
So Ben's going LA Knight, and Dan and I were going Seth Rollins. All right, moving on now to our last Money in the Bank match. We have a tag match. Logan Paul and John Cena versus the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso.
So realistically, I don't give a fuck about this match. I think it's just going to be fun. You know, obviously, like we get to see the revival of the tag team between Jay and Cody, which is obviously fucking hilarious. You know, Logan Paul and John Cena, it makes sense. You know, they're both viral sensations. They've both been there. It was kind of written in the stars, but I genuinely don't give a fuck about this match other than the fact that John Cena's in it. You know, I think it'll be fun. Obviously, I think when it comes to the win, I think John Cena and Logan are going to take it. You know, we need to further this whole, you know, John Cena's ruining wrestling story. I don't know if we're going to be getting, you know, like somebody else getting involved with this whole process. You know, like there's a lot of things that could happen, you know, that it's kind of unpredictable in that aspect. But in terms of the win, it's Logan and John for me.
All right, well, you know, I'll share my thoughts on this. I think it's going to be Cody and Jay. And I think that the reason why, I think Cody Rhodes is going to be the one to pin John Cena. That way they can build Cena versus Rhodes at SummerSlam as probably the main event of night 2. I think that that's probably what's going to happen realistically. I don't understand why we're getting John Cena and Jey Uso involved with each other. Like, I understand, like, they're trying to give us, like, multiple storylines and stuff, similar to what happened with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40. I don't like that. I wish Jay would be focusing on Gunter instead of focusing on, like, John Cena, which, to me, doesn't make sense because, like, for me, I like the brand split. I like the friggin' people that are a part of the red brand, they stay on the red brand. You're a part of the blue brand, you stay in the blue brand.
I think Gunther's going to get involved.
He could, or he's just going to sit back and let Jay kill himself, and then on Raw, he's going to kick his ass.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think that realistically, I think that Cody Rhodes will get the pin on John Cena during this. And that's why I'm going to go with Cena or not Cena. I'm going with Cody and Jay.
Okay.
Completes the most cheese. I probably couldn't give two shits about this match either. Same like with you guys, because it just depends on how they end it, I think is the most important. It'll be entertaining because, I mean, main event Jey Uso, you got John Cena. I really don't care for Logan Paul, but I respect his in-ring performances. And then obviously Cody Rhodes, because like he just came back and he's like, I'm coming back for my title, coming back for my baby. So with that in mind, I can see why they made it a tag team match, just to kind of tie it into how the other PLEs are going to be going with Night of Champions, with SummerSlam, with the other ones coming up. I can see Cody actually pitting John and having that be part of the story that they're building up. So, Donnie, I would have to agree with you on that. If I were to pick a winner, I would pick Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso as well.
You do make a valid point here, Angelo. Hey, look at it this way. At least Travis Scott isn't in the match. That is a good thing.
Don't manifest that, Angelo. Do not manifest that, because if he shows up, I'm hunting you down. I don't want Travis Scott anywhere on my TV.
All right, so our final answers, we have Ben, you're going with Cena and Logan, right?
Yep.
And then I'm going with Cody and Jay. So that is it for our Money in the Bank predictions, but we figured let's throw a bonus one in there since WWE's only given us 4 matches as of right now, because on Monday Night Raw, this upcoming Monday, we are going to be getting a World Heavyweight Championship match. Jey Uso will be defending the title against Gunther. Who do you got? So real quick, there's 3 options here. You could pick between Jay, Gunther, or cash in.
I'm gonna go with I mean, I don't see anybody cashing in from the men's other than Seth, maybe, especially. See, that kind of just leaks that it's probably going to be Seth that's going to win the Money in the Bank, because if he wins, he's going to cash in on Jay, and I think Sammy's going to help.
Gunther kills him.
And I think Sammy's going to turn on Jay too. I think that's going to be a whole explosive thing that he's going to finally like settle in with Seth. Yeah, I think it's going to be a cash in.
I think so too. I think Seth Rollins is winning Money in the Bank and he is cashing in after this brutal fucking beatdown that Jay's going to get against Gunther. And I think that this is going to be a way too that Gunther is going to start to go after the heels. And I think that we're possibly going to get him. He's been getting some babyface reactions. Like, I don't see him going full on babyface, but also too, like him and Goldberg, they want to build something there. They don't need a world championship to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a cash in. I think I'm going to have to go with Seth.
Okay.
What about you, Dan?
Sadly, Jay, and then cash in. Whoever actually wins is going to be a cash in with Seth. Also, Goldberg is going to show up. Well, put money on that. So Jay will win with Goldberg's involvement, and then Seth Rollins will cash in on Jay.
All right. Yeah, I can see that happening. All right. Well, with that being said, guys, let's get into the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. And starting things off, we got some call-up news. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Stephanie Valkyr, which has already been called up, Ricky Saints, and Jordan Grace are expected to be on the WWE main roster imminently. What's your thoughts on this?
Perfect. Cool. That's something that we've been waiting on this whole time. We thought that both of them were coming to the main roster immediately, and both ended up in NXT for a little bit, which is cool because it built up some credibility. But yeah, dude, I'm excited for it. Like, there's really no other things that you can say. You know, there's a lot of landscape out there for both of them to play with. So, when it happens, I'm excited.
All right, what's your thoughts, Dan?
Took the words right out of my mouth. As soon as I heard Jordan Grace was coming to WWE, she deserved a main roster spot, and it was kind of overdue. So I definitely agree. There wasn't any backlash or any disagreement on my part because I feel like Jordan Grace was a phenomenal performer. She's obviously talented, and way overdue.
Yeah, I think that both Ricky and her, definitely the right call. I would have preferred Ethan Page over Ricky right now because I feel like Ethan Page is going to be one of those guys that's going to transition so well from NXT to the main roster. Ricky, I don't know, man. I'm still not convinced. Like, I'm a big fan of his work, but I don't know. Nothing has convinced me right now in like this WWE run that he's had because I have looked back during highlights of his in NXT and like, I don't know. Like, he just seems like a watered down version of himself. But maybe the main roster, he has a better run, maybe. I don't know. But maybe. Moving on to our next topic here. Valhalla, also known as Sarah Logan, has revealed via social media that her WWE contract is not being extended and she will be leaving the company. What's your thoughts on this?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be blunt. She was never meant to be a wrestler, man. Like, she was never meant to be a WWE superstar, and that's okay. Like, that's perfectly fine. Wrestling was just never supposed to be her thing. And because honestly, and like I said, I'm going to be super blunt, she seems like a very good manager, like a good gimmick performer. Um, did not have it on the mic, did not have the it factor in the ring. And just based on the track record of, releases and everything, and just, kind of like where I've seen her, where her mind's at, especially when it comes to like social media and everything. I don't think that it was ever her first love in general. So for me, I'm not surprised, but I wish her well. Because, I think that, wrestling was more of her husband's passion. So I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard, but I don't know. I feel like this is kind of just like a universe calling thing,
Yeah, like it's meant to be. Like
It's
what
just meant
happens,
to be.
happens.
Yeah. And it's nothing personal, I wish her the best for whatever it is she does do.
What's your thoughts on it, Dan?
I forgot she existed. So, yeah, the fact that she hasn't wrestled as not only Sarah Logan but Valhalla in, I feel like I want to say years. So I'm not really surprised. And she had a great moment when she was part of the Riot Squad. That was about it.
I did like her like with the Riot Squad. I thought she was good. I just think maybe the timing was a little off because I think like especially now with like the women tag titles, she could have definitely been like a good tag team wrestler, but I kind of agree with everything that you just said, Rach.
Bet.
Like I feel like there's always been something missing with her as
Yeah.
a performer. And I think that I do think like it is like whatever happens, happens. Like I do wish her nothing but the best in what she does. But I don't know. I just don't think she really connected with the fans either, which doesn't
And that's
help.
okay. Like
That's okay.
sometimes naturally you just can't get over. And when your heart isn't truly in it, and you can definitely see it, it translates on screen, it translates in the ring. That's okay. It's not your calling, and that's completely fine. You're still going to be relative in the aerospace. You're still going to go down as an alumni. You're still married to somebody who was just a tag team champion who made a staple in NXT, and personally, when things like this happen, usually the universe works in mysterious ways. And, maybe when this door closes, one is going to open she didn't expect, and something beautiful is going to happen out of that. And that is like something I can really hope for and appreciate for. And I hope that that's something that she takes with her with this release as a good sign.
All right, well, moving on now to our next topic here. WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans has been canceled. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WrestleMania next year will most likely be in Las Vegas. Although WWE has not announced that officially, it is the working idea. There is also another WrestleMania in Las Vegas in the books within the next 3 to 5 years. What's your thoughts on WrestleMania possibly coming back to Las Vegas?
I hate TKO. They're killing everything great about WWE, like including like the traveling cities. Like you're taking away like opportunities from other cities to host this massive event, and it's just, I don't know. The whole thing is just, I don't know. I don't know,
WWE is
man.
selling out for the money.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, true.
What's your thoughts on it, Dan?
I wouldn't say livid, but I was really pissed off when I heard about it. And they were just there last year. Like, I can understand if it was like 3 years down the road and something may have happened and New Orleans couldn't have hosted anymore, then it would make more sense. But they decided to have it in Las Vegas next year, like 2 months after literally having WrestleMania in Las Vegas. So the timing was weird. The fact that they chose it again was weird. The Rock himself came out and said that it was going to be announced that it was going to be in New Orleans next year. So there's two big The Rock segments that were a waste of our fucking time. The fact that he announced WrestleMania was in New Orleans, and when he was out there when John Cena turned heel and then did nothing else. So
Yep.
kudos to The Rock. But anyways, like that's the whole other story. What Rachel's saying, there's so many different cities that they could have chose. New York, Milwaukee, just kidding. Dallas, Seattle, like just to name a few. So the fact that they want to go to Las Vegas again, I understand it was a hit. You know, it's a hot city. There's always the money to fly around. Dealer always wins, and TKO is literally TKOing people's wallets. I hate it.
I absolutely hate it too. And since TKO has taken over WWE, like I have not been to a WWE PLE or show because the tickets are just outrageous. And like I will say this though, I do think them do like this doesn't make sense to me. Like what Angelo just said here. Let's give them Money in the Bank instead. That's just as good as WrestleMania. Get the hell out of here. Triple H there's a report that literally just came out like after all this news came out that Triple H hates the Money in the Bank. So it's like you go from WrestleMania to something Triple H hates. Like I don't understand like the whole philosophy here. Like I know like they did make a lot of money. Like probably the whole like city of Las Vegas like made a lot of money during WrestleMania week. But I don't know. I'm sick of TKO doing this. Like, yeah, I wasn't happy about the New Orleans announcement because they have already had like 2 WrestleManias. Like, I want a WrestleMania around me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're just going to the same locations over and over again. Like, it's California, it's New Orleans, or it's Las Vegas.
I wanted to add too, they're putting themselves in more of a predicament because when they wanted to go back to Las Vegas, they chose a weekend that's already booked, I feel like, for that arena. So now they're not only looking for different weekends and maybe pushing it back, but they're also looking at Las Vegas again when they've already been there. So it's just weird.
It's fucking annoying.
And I'm just going to say this. The only way that I would be okay with them canceling this New Orleans WrestleMania is if they were going to the UK, Wembley Stadium. WrestleMania needs to happen in the UK.
That'd be
That's the only exception I will make. But besides that, like to me, like TKO, like they're really just taking away the fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, moving on now to our last We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. Could The Miz be on his way out soon? Well, guys, We Are Wrestling. If you guys aren't following us over on Facebook, Instagram, or especially X, we posted this article here that The Miz has unfollowed WWE and removed all mentions of WWE in his Twitter/X bio. And Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful said, a nothing story.
Danny's fucking idol, bro. His god. His fucking
that's
god
JD
air.
from New York. JD
That's
from New
JD?
York.
Oh, I thought Sean Ross Sapp. Okay, my bad.
But Sean Ross Sapp quote tweeted us pretty much saying there's no story to it. And We Are Wrestling. We gained like over 500 followers. So thank you, Sean Ross, for that. Giving us the
funny.
rub.
It's funny too because like there was like no mention of like, oh my god, he's leaving. Oh my god, like there was none of that. It was a tad clickbaity, yeah. But to say, oh, a nothing story, dude, like, thanks for the clout. Appreciate it.
And I will say this. I was very, very surprised. Like, I was going through, like, all the mentions, because right now this tweet, I think, is at, like, close to 2 million views. And I was very surprised to see, because a lot of the times when my tweets go viral, I get a lot of shit. And this is the one time that, like, people were actually, like, well, technically, he did unfollow WWE, and technically, he took him out of the bio on his Twitter, and technically, his contract is up sometime this year, so was he really lying?
Yeah. It's not like we were saying he's straight up leaving WWE. Like, we had nothing story my ass. I mean, technically, all of those things were true.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, dude, like, obviously, you didn't clearly think about it. You just saw it and reacted. Like, and that's fucking hilarious because, again, 500 followers later, it's fucking funny how the world works sometimes.
And that's the funny
yeah.
thing too. Like, I just want to let like the Maniacs know too. There's no beef between us and Sean Ross Sapp. We respect what he does in the business, unlike a lot of other people, and we appreciate the rub. That was he could have been more of an asshole. He could have been more of an asshole.
100%.
But he was cool. He was cool about it because I'm sure I did see fans tweeting at like, "Hey, at like Sean Ross, is this true?" Like that's probably why he addressed it. And he's got to do what he's got to do. So there's no beef. There's no bad blood. And Sean Ross Sapp, you're always welcome to come to the We Are Wrestling podcast. All right. Well, with that being said, now I think it's time to get into the Getting Put Over segment, where every week we alternate and we pick one past, present, future professional wrestler and we put them over. Last time, the last one we had was Mick Foley, which was my choice. And we figured with the new season of the We Are Wrestling podcast, let's let the newest member of the We Are Wrestling channel family, Dan Edwards, pick who we're putting over. But one cool thing that we are doing actually this summer for the Getting Put Overs, only women wrestlers for the entire summer. Because we've been putting over too many of the male wrestlers. And I think for the summer, we need to change it up a little bit. It's a new season. It's a fresh start. So, Dan, who are we putting over?
The one, the only, 5-foot fury, the goddess herself, Alexa Bliss.
I love how Donnie woke up and just decided we were sexist and was like, yeah, this summer it's all about the ladies. Shots for the girls.
Gotta make the We Are Wrestling Maniacs proud.
That's fucking hilarious. No, I got you, bro.
That's the funny thing. During all these segments, because I do pay attention to the live chat, there's so many requests when it comes to women wrestlers. And I think that why not? It's a new start of the season. Let's get some more women, some statues. All right, well, here we go with our Getting Put Over. We're going to go over her accolades, and then we are going to ask you guys the simple questions. If you guys want to be a part of this, all you got to do is go into the live chat and comment. We're going to ask you guys her favorite title run, favorite match, favorite segment, favorite year, favorite rivalry, and a biggest what if. So here we go. Here are some of the accolades for Alexa Bliss. She is a 3-time Raw Women's World Champion, 2-time SmackDown Women's World Champion.
Whoa.
Also a 2018 Money in the Bank winner, a 2-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, 2 times with Nikki Cross. And she also was a 1-time tag champ with Asuka, making her a 3-time champion.
Oh, yeah.
Also, she was a 24/7 champ. Couldn't find a good picture of her, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
Now let's get into her favorite title run. So, Ben, what do you got?
The first Raw Women's title run that she got in 2017 to 2018. That was actually like revolutionary because that was like back when, like we got like the transition of like the kind of like almost Divas title to like the actual like prestigious like women's titles. Like when we were we were already going through like the women's revolution at the time. So it's like we were getting like, all of the same opportunities that the men had. So it's like this was a big time, and Alexa Bliss was a huge star in the women's division at the time. Like she was massive, like she was getting the same push that, the horsewomen were, so that was really special around that time.
All right. What about you, Dan?
I went with the same one because there were a lot of first times, but along with what Rage was saying, there were a lot of first times when like Alexa Bliss was really like showing up and like becoming a superstar herself, because she won the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber to keep her title. And then like just going from like August of 2017 to I think it was like July or no, like kind of like April or May of 2018.
Yeah, it was almost a year.
When she lost it to Nia Jax. Yeah, so it was just boom, like banger after banger after banger, to be honest, because she was defending her title, and it was just like a year run. I think it was like over 200 days or so too. So it was her longest time.
Won it in won it in April, lost it in March or something like that.
Yeah, it
it
was
was
something
the
like
longest
that.
title run since being in WWE. So
And then she had feuds with Bailey, Sasha, I think Mickey James at some point.
all
And
the
then it
workhorse
got to
women.
Nia Jax. And they had a really good storyline going into that WrestleMania, actually. I
Yeah.
did enjoy that.
They built
My
it like
favorite
a
title
monster.
run, I got to go with you
38.
guys as well. Like, I loved her first Raw Women's World title run. I think that she did a great job at making that championship prestigious. I will freaking go to bat and say this every single time. Nothing beats the Golden Goddess for me with Alexa Bliss. I loved her character.
Yeah.
I loved her in-ring work. I loved everything she did. She was such a good heel during this time. Like, I think that very underrated too, because a lot of the times, like in NXT, especially with the women, like the 4 Horsewomen, like we knew, like going out of NXT, like they all were going to be world champions. They were going to be very successful. Alexa Bliss, like she was in that class with the 4 Horsewomen. So a lot of people forget that. And I think that like when she got up to the main roster and they did that brand split with SmackDown, because she did have a great SmackDown title run.
Yeah.
Like she's done a great job at like making the championship prestigious and putting over baby faces in the process, which is always important. But a couple answers we do have here. Looks like we got some love here for Bliss and Asuka. I thought that was an underrated tag team.
Yeah, it was.
Like that was one of those like tag teams that like, because I don't like when they like put people together, but I thought it worked.
I thought it worked too. I kind of do miss Asuka, to be honest. So I feel it.
Ooh, that's a good one too, Angelo. I miss Twisted Bliss as her finish. Now she uses a modified Sister Abigail, which is just a DDT.
I think she's also. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was gonna say I do miss that move, but I think she does it still.
I think she does it very occasionally because you also got to remember she's also trying to stay safe for something else now. So
because she did have some injuries too. Yep.
And a kid. So
Yep.
yeah. So you
all
got to
right,
stay
moving
safe,
on.
man.
We have our favorite match of Alexa Bliss's. Ben, take it away.
Honestly, I'm gonna say, and honestly, just for the scope of what it is, because I genuinely enjoyed the match and it was actually kind of fucking nuts. It was Ronda Rousey in Hell in a Cell. Ronda Rousey, Hell in a Cell 2018, dude. That shit was fucking not 2018. I think it was 2017. It was fucking nuts.
Yeah. And it was so good because like around the time, like people couldn't stand Alexa Bliss as a heel.
Yeah.
So they wanted Ronda Rousey to like legitimately kill this woman.
It's fucking nuts. And that's, I think, why I liked it so much.
Yeah, dude. All like during that match, like literally she was flipping Alexa Bliss like around like a fucking Krabby Patty.
Yeah, dude. 2018. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. What about you, Dan?
I was actually gonna go for that one, and then Rage picked it, so I had to go with my. Well, this one was my favorite, but that one was a close second to me, close second or third. I have 3 matches I can't choose in between. So the match I went with was the Payback 2017 against Bailey, when she won the Raw Women's Champion, because she became the first woman to not only win the SmackDown Women's Championship, but then also the Raw Women's Championship at separate times. And
I loved it.
She was doing a great job as a heel, and nobody expected her, to beat Bailey, who was a big baby face back in her, everybody gets a hug, the hugger
I
days.
miss Hugger Bailey every day.
I don't.
Really? I don't.
I
miss
wish
her.
I could get a hug from Bailey.
I like her music. I don't like the Hugger Bailey character. But
you don't like the car inflatables there that she has?
Wacky Little Arm Tube Man.
Yeah,
the ones that just go woo.
Use Carla. Yeah. I thought that was a great match just by entertainment itself. And it was in Bailey's hometown in San Jose. And it was the card stacked against her. Alexa Bliss was in her heel phase and just basically beat the shit out of Bailey and won the Raw Women's Championship. And then I think that was the catalyst to her 2017-2018 run. I think that was her first match.
I think that's where it really took off.
Yeah.
I was actually going to go with this match, but I did have to go with a plan B, and that is the Elimination Chamber from this past year, 2025.
That was my close second. Yep.
I really enjoyed this match. I think all 6 women delivered. They all showed up, especially Liv Morgan during this, but Alexa looked great. And this was like her real like test, like coming back to WWE, because she had a good Royal Rumble appearance, but now she's going inside the Elimination Chamber. And I thought that she did a really good job, and I kind of wish they capitalized on her and Roxanne, like having a feud possibly here.
I would love that.
Really enjoyed it a lot. But moving on, we do have our favorite segment. I rewatched this, Ben, when you said this in the chat.
Yeah, dude,
I
was
forgot about it.
crying, dude, because I remember watching it live and I was fucking crying. It's
what is
when Alexa called Charlotte Flair a narcissistic, self-absorbed bitch in 2019. Dude, she was straight up clowning her the whole fucking time. It was fucking hilarious. Like,
yeah, and she had like the Charlotte doll like inside like a gift box, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then gave it to her, and then she called her a bitch.
Yeah, dude, shit was hilarious.
That was one of the few times I did enjoy this side of Alexa.
Yeah.
Because I think every fan got a kick out of that one. Because Charlotte was being pushed as like Hulk Hogan during this time.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
What about you, Dan?
I completely forgot about that segment, so I appreciate that, Rage, because I went and rewatched it maybe 2 or 3 times because I remember laughing my ass off as well.
I did rewatch it.
I couldn't really choose, but I went with really any moment of bliss segment because any sort of guest they had, it was a banger. I went with when she was tag team champions with Nikki Cross. It was during the whole weird 2020 times. So it had Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, and the New Day with Kofi and Biggie as tag team champions too. And when Bayley and Sasha interrupted, and Alexa was just coming out with the one-liners, and Bayley was asking, "Well, Alexa, why are you so quiet?" And Alexa was like, "Oh, it's just a matter of when you start talking, I stopped listening." And then she was, and then right off the bat, right after that, when she said that, she was like, "Oh, let's see. I see championship title, going on the line. Sasha, where's your title?" And that's when she got into a not title match, but a match with Sasha because Bayley volunteered Sasha. And that was when Bayley and Sasha were like, there was cracks in the shield between the relationship. Yeah. So, yeah, I went with that one just because it's one of those that I just remember. Another one was a Moment of Bliss segment when she had EC3 on.
Oh, I remember that one. Yes,
but I didn't choose that. I didn't choose that because that was more of a Dean Ambrose moment.
Yes,
who are you? What does EC3 stand for? Where is EC1 and 2?
Yeah, that was a good little segment there with Dean Ambrose.
The dude straight up killed EC3's career.
Yeah, and then didn't EC3 actually like pull an upset, and then like after that, like they did nothing with him except let him like hold like a red cup.
His aura was shot basically because of Dean Ambrose. So I think of that one. I just didn't list that one because we're talking about Alexa Bliss's moments. So, but any sort of moment of bliss segment, I would rewatch again.
It was a really good talk show, and I feel like WWE like they need to start capitalizing on that more.
Yeah,
like we need to get more
back. To be honest, maybe instead of having the Twisted Bliss Alexa character, have I don't know what her character is called now, but
like a mix of like both, like the goddess and
what
she's doing.
Yeah, I'm not saying like bring back the Funhouse TV like segment.
No.
I wouldn't say. I would say not even touch that, but I would say bring back a Alexa Bliss talk show in general.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it could elevate like the women's division by having her bring back the talk show. I think it is something that could benefit like all parties. Mm-hmm. My favorite segment, it was tough because I think that Alexa Bliss, one of the most underrated women wrestlers on a microphone. Like she can bury you with a snap of a finger. So I had to go with this one right here, where she buries all of them during her championship celebration back in 2017. She just went in on every single one of them except Nia Jax. She was scared of Nia Jax. But that would later on, like, had a whole story to it because then Nia Jax won the title at Mania. But I just enjoyed this with Alexa, like, just being on top of the world. And she was just such a good bully heel. And I think, like, she did a great job there. And I thought that this was a good segment. Underrated one. Moving on to our favorite year.
2019 to 2020 because she finally did something fucking different. And that's literally the only reason why I chose it. And she also showed a lot of range. That's really it. That's the
I
only
will
reason I
say
chose it.
I shit on this character a lot, but I did like the swing. I did really enjoy the swing.
Not the
in, like,
literal
a little playground.
not the physical swing. Oh,
No.
okay.
No, I'm talking about like the set that she had for like her little like talk show thing.
Gotcha.
The actual swing, yeah.
Yeah. All right, what about you, Dan?
I went with 2017 just because that outside of what she was doing with the 6 and then Bray Wyatt segments and the 2019 year, 2017 was really a defining moment in her career just because she was defeating everybody, defending her title back to back almost, and had all these title runs within like the year. So I feel like just 2017 was when she really came out of her shell, and then she was able to do those character swings in later years. So I just picked 2017 because that's my favorite year.
Took the words out of my mouth. Can't say much. 2017 to 2018. I love the Golden Goddess character. And getting into our favorite rivalry now.
I'm gonna go with Ronda.
That
Just
was a good one.
because a lot of people hated Alexa at the time, like massively, and it was like the one time where we genuinely got some kind of retribution for it. So it was kind of fan service at that moment. So,
and the one time I think the fans were actually behind Ronda.
that's another reason why I did it, because it was like her one high point in her WWE career.
She was like an in-betweener.
Yep.
What do you got to go with, Dan?
I went with Charlotte Flair, and that was probably one of the most entertaining feuds, to be honest, with me. The Ronda Rousey one was definitely, like, hands down one of her defining moments too. With the Charlotte Flair one and with Rage's segment that he chose, I feel like that'd be just the perfect reason too, because like I said, I forgot about that segment, but then when I was looking at trying to remember something like some segments that she's done, that was probably one that I would go back and rewatch.
Hell yeah. So my favorite rivalry, I had to go with Bayley and Alexa. And it also goes back to, I didn't forget what you said here, Angelo. We don't talk about their other match, the Candlestick one-sided match. I did like the Candlestick match, actually. And I don't know, I enjoyed this feud between Bayley and Alexa because to me, like, this is like what represents like a perfect babyface and a perfect heel. Like, Hugger Bayley was the perfect babyface. Anybody can get behind her, especially the kids. And then you have Alexa Bliss, great heel. And I thought that they just had really good chemistry there, especially like storytelling wise. And I think that they could have definitely went on a little bit longer with the feud. And I think eventually they could have gone back and had Bayley get a big win over her. But overall, like, I thought it was a great way to elevate Alexa's title run.
Yeah.
And finally,
absolutely,
one biggest what if.
So what if she never joined Bray Wyatt and did the Sister Abigail storyline and, got involved with the Wyatt Six and had this entire, run? What would it be like for her career?
Yeah, that's something I feel like a lot of us think about.
Yep.
It is cool that she did get to share the ring with Bray Wyatt.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. I was this close to choosing just like the whole Randy Orton segments, because Randy Orton was trying to get to the Fiend and she shot a fireball in Randy Orton's face.
Yep.
And then they had that intergender match.
Intergender match.
Yeah, and Bray Wyatt had his like miraculous return
Yeah.
with the melted mask and everything. I thought that was really cool. So I agree with that. What if? But I went something different. So instead of past tense, I went future, and not far future, but near future. For this weekend's Money in the Bank, I went with, now this is prefaced with saying that if the women's Money in the Bank match, which I feel like would be the opening one, if that is the first match and she wins that, what if she cashes in that same night for the Intercontinental Championship? And we were saying earlier about how there's other PLEs coming up, which will give a chance for the World Championships, like Io's title or Tiffany's title. But with the Intercontinental Championship, with so much heat it's been getting, with so much hype with Lyra, Alexa Bliss has history of cashing in the Money in the Bank contract that same night against Nia Jax. And I know she had that segment with Tiffany Stratton not too long ago with the promo about maybe she'd be winning it and cashing in on Tiffany. But if she wins it this Saturday and then cashes it in on Becky, who could win that match, she'd be, I think, the only female wrestler that would cash in the same night and have success both times in Money in the Bank. Or maybe even the only wrestler that's done it twice in general. So
I will say, Alexa Bliss and Tiffany Stratton, that'd be a really good feud. Bring back the Goddess character as like a heel going against Tiffany. That would be pretty good.
I'd only do it for Mind Games.
But the Mind Games we would need. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, Mind Games. And it would just kind of bring back that nostalgia rivalry between Becky Lynch. And that will kind of get me interested in Becky Lynch again, to be quite honest. Because we were saying earlier too, like Becky Lynch is sort of just like, okay, cool. She's doing this thing with Lyra. Lyra's been killing it.
What are you going to do, sister?
Yeah. So with Becky winning it and beating Lyra, because this is their third time fighting for that title, what if when Alexa Bliss wins it earlier in that card, if she comes back and cashes in on Becky after Becky wins it, it can set up sort of like a triple threat match between her, Becky, and Lyra at, say, Night of Champions or WWE Evolution, and that can only push Lyra even more, being in the ring with two veterans such as Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch, two of the original workhorse women in WWE. So,
I didn't even think about that. All right, well, with my what if, I had to go with what if we never got this side of Alexa Bliss. Like, what if she stayed as the Golden Goddess character? Like, would have like how far would have she gone? Like, maybe would she have reached her ceiling and not have done anything? Like, I think about like that what if. I do think at the end of the day, like her doing the character, as much as I didn't like it, like it needed to happen during that time because she kind of ran her course doing the whole Golden Goddess thing. But I think about like, what if that never happened? So guys, that is it for the Getting Put Over segment this week. We put over Alexa Bliss. And next week, Rage, it's your turn. Who are we putting over? It's got to be a woman wrestler.
Well, if it's that marginalized, then I'm going to go with fuck. Let's honestly go with Nikki Cross.
All right, we're going Nikki Cross next week.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So, with that being said, now let's get into the We Are Wrestling Podcast Season 2 main event topic. And, oh man, everybody's talking about this. I'm sure we're going to be uploading this as a clip. WWE has released R-Truth and has informed Carlito they won't be renewing his contract. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, they're looking at the numbers. They're looking at how many people they have to cut or how much money they have to cut. And those were the picks. Those were Triple H's picks. And that's what it is. What's your thoughts on the releases? Do you want to go with Carlito first or R-Truth?
I'm just gonna cut to the chase and go with both of them. It's kind of fucking bullshit that they brought Carlito back in the first place just to fucking release him down the line super soon. And for R-Truth, I mean, you're just bleeding everything enjoyable out of this entire sport that we fucking enjoyed just to go corporate as hell, and it's selling out. And it's honestly, at this point, I don't feel bad for not being caught up with the product, and it's like kind of turning me off wrestling in general again, because it's like you're sucking out. A lot of these kids are going to be like, well, what the fuck do I watch on this shit now? You know, like I'm not one to think about the kids, you know, when it comes to wrestling, because fuck them kids. But at the same time, fuck them kids. But at the same time, it's like where he was a nostalgic pull for us. That was like one of the last things you have hanging on for like the kids. Because if you've noticed, we're not thinking about the kids anymore. We're not. We're going in more nuanced and more adult storylines. You know, like, and you took away the last fucking thing that they could relate to. And R-Truth, I feel like it was a nice poetic final match for him, and it was a nice ending, I guess. It still very much so feels like injustice. You know, I get wrestling's a business, but you know, at the end of the day, it will be exciting to see what he does outside of it. You know, like, oh, it'll be exciting to see what he does other than just his music. If he does go back into wrestling, if he's going to go sign for a bigger promotion, if he's going to rock the indies, you know, I don't know. I'm excited to see what's next for him. I know Carlito is a new champion. At the end of the day, I hate what WWE is becoming, but I wish both of them the best.
Oh, no, absolutely. And I do want to say something about his last match, because according to Chris, the Wrestling Informer, he did share an update. R-Truth's release from WWE was reportedly planned since earlier this year by Nick Khan, who did put his name on the cost-benefit and analyst list before it was decided letting him running down on his contract rather than cutting him, among others. This is one of the reasons why John Cena, apparently aware of the situation, requested to add a program with R-Truth into his farewell tour in an attempt to convince the WWE higher-ups that his old friend could still be a valuable asset to the company. This attempt unfortunately failed, and R-Truth is now officially on his way out of the WWE after 17 years.
That's fucking awful. The fact that John Cena, even during his heel run and his revenge tour, still went out to bat for R-Truth is fucking nuts. But at the end of the day, where I think it's bullshit that they're cost cutting when they're making more fucking money than they've ever had in their entire fucking lives existing rather, you know, I don't know. I just think that thing is just, yeah, I hope that there's rumors that this is a whole thing is a fucking work, but at the same time, I just, you know, I don't know. The whole thing just sucks.
Well, apparently, the WWE superstars weren't allowed to wear R-Truth's merchandise. I'm surprised Dirty Dom got away with it, because he did have it under the flannel.
His vest, yeah,
They also blurred out the chants that the audience was doing, saying "We want truth" from the TV.
Oh
broadcast.
yeah, throughout the entire night,
Mm-hmm.
we were getting "What's up" chants. We want truth. But what's your thoughts on it, Dan? With this whole situation with R-Truth and Carlito?
First off, I wanted to point out, I want to give a shout out to Danny, because if what he wrote is true, that R-Truth was the last remaining active superstar from the Attitude Era, that hit home, because first of all, I'm fucking old.
Oh, you're right. It was Carlito.
And two, so thanks a lot for that. Thanks for that, Danny. And two, that just sucks, because R-Truth was, like Rach was saying, like a lighthearted version, like the comedic humor in what we have as sports entertainment in the quote unquote drama category. So with R-Truth coming back in that segment against Pretty Deadly with like the chips and the crisps, when he made his like big return in there, and then, you know, he had that huge pop back, and then to, you know, when he was talking to Cody Rhodes backstage saying like, oh, all this is for you, I can't have it, don't be shellfish, you know, because it was like all sushi in the table and all the, you know, catering and stuff like that. Like little things like that makes you appreciate the sport, and the fact that they were saying budget costs were the reasons, but at the same time, there's probably like a good 5 or 6 wrestlers that I can think of that I would cut before R-Truth, but they decided on Carlito and R-Truth. I just think that's like complete bullshit. I feel like there were other ways around it that they could have explored the option of. Miz and Carmelo Hayes. I think Carmelo Hayes is due to go on a solo career, and Miz has just been a jobber for months. But I know he's been a Hall of Famer. He's a veteran. He's been a face of the franchise at times.
Dude, I just wish like the Miz, like they would just have him be a manager. Like he
Yeah.
could benefit so much more being a mouthpiece for somebody like Carmelo Hayes than being an active wrestler.
I just think that there are other people that they could have cut instead of R-Truth. And the fact that John Cena, even during his heel turn, like he, put out for him and be like, hey, let's do this. And then the fact that they still cut them. And, Rachel's making a good point too. Like they're still making money with all the ticket prices, the PLE promotions, the
sponsors, the fucking Slim Jim shit in the ring.
Like, can they just burn that fucking giant ass Prime bottle to the ground? Like, I'm sick of staring at it. And
it's better. It's better than having the logo in the freaking middle of the ring.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you got a good point there. But
what's your thoughts, Danny?
But I just think that they could have done other options. And Carlito, I can see being released because they haven't done anything with him except, every other week being in the background, be like, oh, that's cool for whatever.
Oh, dude, but he was such a good comedy role. And like, honestly, I got to go with Angelo here. Like, I wanted a romance angle with Raquel and Carlito. That could have been some entertainment right there.
I mean, they could kind of write Raquel's character differently too with that added. But I could talk about that too. But it just sucks.
Yeah, no, and like my thoughts on all of this, complete bullshit. Like, why is it always the money budget cutting?
I did want to add that I did think like you too, Rich, of it being like a whole plot or like an angle of him coming back maybe at the end of John Cena's reunion tour. But I mean, that's kind of a long shot and pipeline dream. So I can understand that. It's just weird. After 17 years, I think it was.
Oh, don't even get me started on the Slim Jim tables. I don't think so. Not yet. I'm sure they will at Money in the Bank. But my thoughts on all of this with R-Truth and Carlito, complete bullshit. Because the one thing that I feel like in Triple H's WWE, like he does struggle with, is getting his people over. And Carlito and R-Truth, they have gotten over. And I'm not going to lie to you. When Triple H and TKO like started running WWE and we got into this new era, I didn't think the R-Truth character would work because it was very successful under Vince because Vince did a lot of the PG stuff and he did like the childish stuff that R-Truth was very good at with the 24/7 title, doing the whole little Jimmy thing. Yeah. And honestly, like I was very surprised on how successful he was doing like in this new era of WWE. Like I thought the stuff that he was doing with the Judgment Day was great. And then him and John Cena was good. And I don't know, man, like I'm really disappointed because R-Truth, like he's one of those guys that I feel like when you like listen to other WWE superstars and other professionals in this business, you don't really hear a negative thing about him. And I don't know, especially somebody who like spent like 17 years, and that's not even including the Attitude Era when he had that short run in late 1999 to 2001. I just think that he should have been WWE for life. If they were going to let him go, give him a producer role. Carlito, on the other hand, like they brought him back after we asked for it. And I was not going to lie. At first, I was a little confused on what they were going to do with Carlito. Felt like he wasn't going to fit in this new WWE. And then same thing happened with R-Truth. Judgment Day. Carlito found a perfect role. And every week, something funny would come out of his mouth. And I thought he was just a perfect fit for the group. And I think my biggest problem here with both of the releases, it's not, one, it's bullshit, but also, why are you just going to let them go without pushing somebody else? Like R-Truth, they had him on SmackDown literally after his match with John Cena. What I would have done if you're going to let go of R-Truth, have John Cena take him out, write him off of television, adds more to John Cena's heel turn. Carlito, You could have had the Judgment Day take him out or something. But instead, they just let him disappear. And then the PS5's taken away. Like, that's it. Like, I feel like if you're going to let go of somebody, like, give somebody else the rub.
Yeah, I think at least, like,
I don't know. I'm not a fan of it.
if we're gonna release a wrestler and he has polar connection with the audience at any level, help them like push somebody else over before they leave.
And that's the thing too, like you need veterans to put over these young stars. Because that's the thing about R-Truth and Carlito. They have years of experience. The WWE universe knows them. And if you're going to put somebody random like a Santos Escobar, for example, or somebody in NXT like an Obafemi or somebody like a casual doesn't know, you put them in there with somebody like Carlito and R-Truth, you're going to get familiar with that new star. And that's like, I don't understand. I'm so sad about it. Really sad. It sucks. But anything else, guys, before we close off this week's episode?
Nope. That's all.
I think so. What a freaking episode to come back to. We had a very stacked episode this week. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there, we do want to let you know that getting put over segment, we actually did upload our old one from R-Truth, talking about our favorite moments in his WWE run. So if you guys haven't checked that clip out, highly recommend it. It was one of our more earlier getting put overs. And if you guys enjoyed this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling Podcast Season 2, smash that like button now. Let us know in the comment section below your thoughts on all the topics that we covered this week. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac, you're already over on the social medias, go give us a follow. And if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac, you're already, and you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast, give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download the episodes. But if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac, you're already over on the YouTube channel. We are literally 5 subscribers away from getting to 7,000 subs. So by next week's live episode, we better be there. Recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. We got lots of awesome content lined up for all you awesome people. The link's down in the description box below. You can go follow myself, Ben, and Dan Edwards over on our social medias. Ben, he's killing it over on Twitch, twitching away. Also, you can go buy some of his merch over on his Bonfire website. Dan Edwards, you can go check out his Twitch page. The link is down below. And then myself, if you guys are into wrestling figures and toy hunts and collectibles and nostalgia, you can go check out the Best One Donnie channel. I also opened up a store where you can get yourself a Best One bomb shirt. We got them in white, black, and red. So if you want to purchase that, the store has launched officially. All the links down in the description box below. Also, next Saturday, Wrestling Classic. If you guys are in the Springfield, Mass area, South End Community Center, come out, check our table out, meet the Blue Meanie. We'll also have some We Are Wrestling merch available as well. And, of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are... Oh, and I also forgot. Thank you, Angelo. Will you guys be live for Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide? Worlds Collide, we will not be doing a live watch-along for, but Money in the Bank, we will be live this Saturday watching it, so we hope to see you guys there, because we will be crowning a new We Are Wrestling champion. And, of course, you already know, we are taking over. Bye, guys!